What is up, YouTube? This is Mike Willie. Just coming to you this evening to have a little discussion. We're going to talk about appreciation. Myself and I have Mr. Johnson with me, who's going to be joining me momentarily, just to have a conversation. And I would like for you guys to dive in and post your opinions so that we can just have good dialogue. What I want to talk about is just like valuing and appreciating relationships, appreciating things that you have, and not worrying about the things that you don't have. Too often in this thing called life, we're concerned with what someone else have and what we don't have, and basically it drives us crazy. Instead of being thankful for what we have, cherishing the relationships that we have. More times than not, you'll basically treat people that treat you bad, you'll treat them better than the ones that treat you with love. How about you, Mr. Johnson? You have any comments on that?
You know what? First, before I go any further, again, I just want to appreciate you, Will. Let me join in the conversation and come on show to discuss this topics with you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Um, I I'm just one of those individuals. Man, I am just so extremely grateful for opportunities, and I never look. Somebody, I remember someone told me, you know, that you have to be careful about putting yourself in a position where you're looking at things that not yet have come to pass in some ways, because like some people say, um you have to speak things into existence, which I absolutely um agree with.
Absolutely.
uh but I am of a belief that you got to work things into existence.
Right.
So
Right.
it is the best, because I believe, I'm like, it's great to have an idea, but an idea with no effort, with no work, without no perseverance behind it, my goodness, is just on the paper. You got to do work.
Absolutely.
Yep, you got to do work to get it out. So when you every time when you speak that, when you first brought this topic up, you think about everyone who spend their time looking at others people blessings, and like they seem to forget that they got gifts and talents of their own.
Right.
I'm always leery. I tell people, never be so occupied with someone else's blessings that you miss every single one of yours.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you worked a little bit harder, God always gives us what we need. The things that we want, we don't even want to work for them anymore.
Right.
We don't want to put forth an effort. We just want to sit back and say, well, this person has this. Why can't I have it?
Right.
But that person's body of work is probably 10 times of what yours is.
Right. I completely agree. I agree with that.
And just like from the relationship aspect of it, you never know who you're going to meet in this life that can touch you in so many different ways, to where, you know, you can have multiple best friends because they touch you in so many ways, to a point where you can conversate with them. When you just need somebody to talk to, people often put blessings in what someone can do for you based off money, but it's so much more to it than financial.
Now, when you saying that, Because I'm agreeing with what you're saying so far. Because so many people, when it comes to that money, a lot of times, or how some people want to put it, um, that kind of, that's the equate. That's what they normally, a lot of people are normally jealous of
Yeah.
people in their positions and everything else, which is interesting because really in terms of the things that, in my opinion, that'll bring you some value, money is really on the bottom of that list
Absolutely.
for the most part.
Because once it's out of your possession, what do you have to hold on to?
Right. Absolutely.
And for me, Mr. Johnson, I noticed that all the like tip top relationships that I have with people is so far distant away from money that it's not even funny. It's relationships built off of love and respect. I see you with the Calvin. Yeah.
Well, keep this in that. People, I wanted to make sure that have, this is, a lot of people. I'm a big time, I'm a big time football fan.
Okay.
I like all sports, period. But this
Yeah.
is actually, a lot of people don't understand this. This is actually the night train number. So everybody talk about this here. They're like, "Oh man, that's a compliment. Oh, this is one of the greatest cornerbacks. Greatest what I'm saying, defensive backs to ever play the game."
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Big Night Train Lane. A lot of people forget about that. Of the winning Lions and the NFL. You know what I'm saying? NFL champion Lions. So
Absolutely.
it's it's interesting. I love it when I saw it. I fell in love with it. Because a lot of younger guys didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't that old. And I tell people I'm not that old. I'm not that young either, man.
Right.
I'm perfect. I'm in the perfect position. But,
Right. Slap in the middle.
But one thing that you said with the money and in the relationships, like you said, life is about relationships. And being grateful for it is, I tell, especially a lot of young people that I tend to mentor, and a lot of the young men and young women in business that I mentor, I tell them that you're going to find out in life that one of the biggest things, and not to even over talk you at all, Will.
No, you're good.
That it's some things that come. I love order. I'm a person that love order. I believe that order, and that it gives us a form of discipline and understanding that everybody can relate to.
Yes.
From children on up. And I do believe it's 4 things that, and they are in this order, that are extremely important. That when it comes to fitness and health, these 4 things have to be got to happen. They got to happen, and they got to happen in order.
Yeah.
First, you got spiritual. Then you got physical. Then you got mental. Then it's financial.
Okay.
And when I was explaining this to a lot of young guys, they was like, "Man, what do Mr. J, what you trying to say?" I'm like, "What I'm trying to say is that the reason why these things are in this specific order is because that one on the bottom is meaningless. The one below it is meaningless if you don't have the one on top of it. You got to have all the rest of them first. Spiritual, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe in, what you stand in, what's your belief system, how you worship and things of that nature. If you don't have a good spiritual life, which is your morality, your standards, your values, and you can have all the rest of that stuff, but you'll be piss poor and bankrupt because
Yeah.
you just don't have that. That's your core base. That's your foundation. It's spiritual. And like I said, I don't care who you are. That's your core base. Then you got health, man. Your health is important. Health is important. It's one of those things that, especially as Black men, we have neglected ourselves on
Yes.
so
Definitely.
much. And I'm speaking as one who, as one who has experienced that, who went from being um, this complete, like ultra athlete, you know what I'm saying, all city, all state, and 4 different sports, coming out and going to college and playing, then
Oh
getting
wow.
out, keeping it up for a little bit, and then getting the family, and then you get comfortable, you get into your success and those things of that nature, and you get into this grind, which is one of the biggest lies that has been told to Black men. Like, man, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Yeah, if you don't sleep, you will be dead. That is one of the biggest lies. We've seen so many of us, and I know Will, that
Yes.
have neglected our health so bad to where you know it's enough that with society we got the ills that we have. Um, to know that within our community we can be murdered. That we know that from police and outside our community we can be murdered. Um, that now we have things like high blood pressure, stress, like these things are killers too. It's killing men. And so you got to have health, because let me tell you something. If you ain't got health, you ain't thinking about money. You just want to be healthy.
Yes.
So that's why I would say that health is right there underneath. So you got your spiritual, you got your mental. Then I'm sorry, you got your spiritual. Then you got I'm sorry,
Physical.
physical. Then you got your mental. Mental is important. Some people put mental and spiritual on the same plane. No, it's not. Mental is a whole different, it's a whole different ball game. This is where you got good spiritual help. You got your core base. You understand. You got your structure. You got your values. You got your core beliefs. You know what you want. You're healthy, which means you know what I'm saying. You got a good you know what I'm saying, structure in the way how you living. You're doing your body right. You're getting your rest. You doing these things, and then you got mental, which is the other area, especially with young men, but everyone, but especially Black man, because I can't help to say mention Black man because I am a Black man,
Absolutely.
and this goes into the terms of mental. It is no race on the face of this planet that has more trauma than African Americans.
Absolutely.
There is none. You can't find it. I don't care what anybody says and how they try to put our stuff on the back burner. Um, it's it's just the truth. We
Yeah.
have PTSD, unlike people cannot ever believe. Um, they did a poll not too long ago, and it showed how over will it shows that 87% of Black males and 78%
Wow.
of Black people, period, heart rates climb tremendously at the sight of police cars.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
That's
That's crazy.
that's that's mind-boggling.
And the crazier part and the more mind-boggling part of it is that the more that we see why that is that way, that's the part that makes it real.
That's the part. That's the part that gets you right. right,
Yes.
brother? It's the part that gets you. Even as as us being, what I'm saying, gentlemen who have been older, who have dealt with police, what I'm saying, the harassment, especially younger.
Yes.
But as you get older, it's an understanding and saying where you have to almost tell and know yourself to a point to I have to be in the most cool head as possible. I have to make this policeman feel comfortable. And that's the very opposite of what it should be. It's the
Exactly.
police job to reassure you, make you feel safe, and make you feel comfortable.
Yes.
There is no other race that has to go through that.
Yes. And
Maybe with the
unfortunately,
exception of Latinos. Maybe with the exception of the Latinos.
yeah.
But outside of that, no one. Because they haven't even got put up with the amount of racism and bigotry that we've ever had to get put in. And I
Yes.
just think and trust me, that's not a contest we want to win. We don't want to win to be the most
You're right about that.
we don't want
You're
to win that contest. So, mentally, we need to do the things we have to do. Whatever we need to do with health, we need to get therapy. Black
Yeah.
men, stop being afraid of therapy. Stop having the stigma
Mm-hmm.
because we do need it. We need someone outside of people that know us, professionals, to hear us, to let us talk, to let us hear those things ourselves that we sometimes have buried so deep that it needs to come out in conversation.
Well, that goes back to what you were saying. As far as everything starts with spirituality.
Absolutely.
Now, let me just ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Like my associates throughout the years, right? So if I say, "Hey, tomorrow's Sunday morning, let's go to Joe Dumars Field House, and play some ball," I get about 7, 8 guys. But if I say, "Hey, man, I'm going to church tomorrow, you guys should come," it might not be. It may be one.
If that.
So that let us know where we are and that we're not living how we supposed to live. We have to do better helping each other.
Absolutely.
Well.
And this let us know, and that's probably a very, really deep conversation for another day too, when it comes to that. But absolutely, and that's why that's why I say I got those orders, for myself, and financial is right there at the bottom because it's important. But you got to have those three first to understand it and to use it to the best of its ability.
Yeah.
Once you get financial help, because then it's financial literacy. You have to understand it. The arts of finance, like you said, is the relationships aspect. Most people, because people do not believe this, but it's an absolute true statement. Money does not bring you happiness.
No.
Money is a tool. That's it. Money is a tool. Financial literacy is a tool. Period. And when you have to, like you said, and what the conversation that we're discussing and what makes it
Yeah.
so important is because people think if I get money, that my problems that I'm having, that the issues and those deep-seated things are going to disappear. No, you could change some surface things, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you stay in the shack, yeah, you could get yourself something better. If your car not running good, yeah, absolutely, you get yourself better. Run, get your car and all those the different things.
I got one for you, Mr. Johnson.
Yep.
Tell me if you agree. When put into the wrong hands, money is poison because it alters that person.
I absolutely agree with that. I agree with it too. I'll go even a step further for you.
Mm-hmm.
People say money changes people. No, it doesn't. Money magnifies the type of person people are.
Absolutely.
So if you
I
are
agree.
a responsible person, money, you're gonna be even. It's gonna just magnify how responsible you are for it. If you're cheap, you're gonna be even cheaper when you got big money. People don't realize how many millionaires they actually are around. How many people have that much money and they don't know about it.
I know this one guy in Mississippi. He's a millionaire, got a lot of money, but he take welfare from poor people.
Me too. It's interesting. Don't hear a lot about it. You ain't hearing a lot about it. You hear more about a guy that
cheating on his wife.
apparently cheated on
Yeah.
Nia Long. I mean, don't get me wrong, beautiful woman, but I can't believe that's the biggest headline. But hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's like you said, it's just it will reveal your character, and you see it.
I have a question that maybe you can answer and let me know how you feel about it.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that, and you hate to break everything down to race, but you have to call it how it is.
Absolutely.
Why is it, one, that a lot of times when dealing in the African American community, laws are made up as they go to throw brothers and sisters in jail, and two, why is it a lot of times that there's no problem until the police actually arrive?
The biggest thing that I've noticed when it comes to this thing that we call, oh man, when you have individuals who come in, they steal, they destroy, they disease populations of people. They take credit for all the good aspects of a culture. And they want to either make light of or totally eliminate any of the wrongs they've done throughout history. And all due respect to any of your listeners and everyone else, that is a dangerous group of people.
Yeah.
And what makes them so dangerous, even more, is that they are in charge of the processes and laws to protect you from individuals like them. This race of, and I'm a firm believer when people say all, I don't have to distinguish that all of a certain race is not bad or good.
Absolutely.
That should be common sense. That should be sense that individuals should already have.
Right.
And even if you're a part of the race that's being talked about or a group of it, if you can't even agree to what others are saying or what I'm saying, I'm not the issue.
Right.
The truth is that European Americans, or I like to call it, Caucasians, or how we want to call it,
yes,
have been the most destructive and manipulating force to ever step foot on this planet.
Because a lot of them are taught hate.
Hate, not like you said, taught it and perfected it.
Yeah,
they perfected it. Anytime you could go somewhere, people have to understand this. Like you said, to even not trying to go too deep. So I do apologize.
No, you're fine.
You look at it. They come up with laws to disguise that they want, with the disguise of we want to make this right, but really it's we want to keep certain people in check.
Yeah.
And this has always been. We were never in the concept of the laws of this country. We were never. We was taught we have been considered less than human, less than animals.
Oh
Because
yeah.
Asian species have more rights than blacks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And what happens is that what do you do? All you have to do, if you don't think there is a spiritual concept behind racism, I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell a person that don't believe that. I would tell them go down to Alter Road in Detroit, in
Yeah.
Jefferson. Will, I'm pretty sure what you know what that is, and
Oh yeah.
most people that's there know what it is.
I grew up not
That's
too far.
where
Yeah.
that's where Grosse Point
Yep.
Park and Detroit meet.
Yep.
Literally on the side of the road is Detroit and there's Grosse Point. You can feel the atmospheric spiritual difference
Definitely.
being on one side of the street to the next one.
Yes.
And me as an individual who absolutely loves Detroit with all my heart, and I love the citizens in it.
Yes.
You stand there and you say, on this side, there's no trash. People feel safe
Mm-hmm.
enough to walk out and do everything that in there they can. Keep in mind, crime is everywhere. The biggest lie that they have told us is that crime only exists in urban areas and is nowhere else. That's been the biggest lie ever.
Totally false.
Totally false. Crime is everywhere. I say, don't you ever let them do it. It's different types of crime and it's less reported. It's just known, but it ain't made publicized because they will never give those cities and those places a black eye. So instead of saying Grosse Point, they will say Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
Instead of saying Farmington Hills, they will say suburban Detroit. Because
especially when something bad happens,
especially when something bad happens,
like the shooting in Oxford.
They don't want to say that. They was like Metro Detroit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They want to say these things. And when you see that, and I told people like that should make anyone, especially people that look like me and you, Will, say, why do our community have to look different than this community? And it touches it.
Yeah. How about subsidized housing on one end, then the other hand, Section 8?
Section 8.
Like
different wording. Different wording. It's crazy. Different wording.
The verbiage is crazy. Yes.
Different wording, same thing.
Yes.
It is proven that, and it ain't just because of the population, just because the population of whites are bigger in this country than blacks. It's just a proven fact that more whites are on welfare than blacks.
Yes.
And they try to go, and they just want to make it be like it's an urban issue. Again, it's a black problem. This is what they want to do. No. They take more advantage of it than they always do. Now, don't get me wrong. I would tell my people right off the bat that it's always that system is a design system to separate family. It was designed to separate man from women from jump.
Absolutely.
It was always designed that way. Some people are like, oh no, people need it. Do I agree with that? Absolutely. It is a need for a revamped system.
Yes.
Of welfare. It's absolutely a needed because it is people that need it. And guess what? If you have paid into this system, you have paid taxes into this government that keeps telling us that we're the richest company on the face of the earth, but in the same breath will say that we have a deficit.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? Somebody's lying. So I believe in the revamped system of it, absolutely. But like you said, you have different things. It's been redlining. It's
Yeah.
always been redlining.
Oh yeah.
It's Chicago was a clear-cut example of that back in the 60s.
Yes.
Purposely,
Definitely.
they purposely said, oh, blacks live here, we're gonna redline these areas, gonna make it hard for them to get loans, gonna be harder for them to get housing, and then we're gonna have different things. Matter of fact, they came up with the invention of projects, and that's exactly what it was. It was a project. That's why when people are saying, I'm like, no, I'm gonna tell you, words have power, and people have got to understand this. They say the Brewster projects. They mean that. It's like, man, it's a project. We want to see how this do if we could keep everybody in one area.
Yes.
We want to see how this. We're gonna keep it like this and everything else. We'll have it just like this. You make them people, you make it harder for them to get everything, which makes people angrier. And it was a big substance because remember Detroit, shout out to the 60s. Detroit was one of the richest cities in America. Period.
Yes.
It had the mass, everybody was coming up here. They want to say the big three and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden what happened, the biggest thing that's happened, and like I tell people before, they allowed drugs to come in.
Yeah.
Drugs is the biggest thing that came in that hit our community.
That was like in the early 80s, right?
Yep. We never recovered from that.
Right.
We're still in recovery from that. That destroyed. You had you had blacks.
But the whole drug epidemic, it wasn't necessarily a thing.
Yep.
Until it's starting to hit Warren and Royal, these other cities.
Well, that's it, brother.
But now it's
there
a
you
huge
go.
problem. It's a war on it now.
Yep. It's never was a war on drugs or heroin or fentanyl and all those things until it started touching their shores.
Absolutely.
Never was. They could keep it in there. People remember when whites start making the exit to the suburbs of Detroit. They're like, okay, we're gonna go out to the suburbs. We're gonna go out to Farmington, Auburn Hills, Beverly Hills, Lathrop Village, all those places, everything that you could think of, West Bloomfield, all the places. They start making it out there.
And that's what makes it so disheartening, Mr. Johnson, when we sit back and do the bidding for those racist people.
Absolutely.
Like I say, it's never all of anything.
Right.
I have Caucasian friends, like I'm sure that you do, and they're 100% genuine. But these racist ones, we're doing the bidding because that person has a pair of shoes that I like. Oh, I gotta have them. Or we're all in this projects together. Why get along?
There you
Let
go.
me see if I can break in their house when they're not there. We're constantly bidding against each other.
Same situation.
Yes.
But we victimize each other.
Why can't my mother walk to the store 10 o'clock at night when we live, in a predominantly black neighborhood without me having to worry? There was a time
amongst your own people.
Amongst your own people.
Yes. Areas. Name areas like that in these cities, because guess what? It happened in Latino areas. I can guarantee it happened in those areas. Maybe Southwest Detroit. We can say that.
Yeah.
Well, Hamtramck, but nowhere near as much as we have in our own community. Think about this. And I tell people just like this. Picture yourself being a tribe and walking through your camp. Name one tribe, name one army that would be in fear of walking in their own camp around those that's supposed to be their families, their comrades.
Right.
You can't name it. You won't be able to name it. It won't be no such there is no such true community where the people that live in the community should be afraid and victimize each other.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be like that. Like you said, it should never be like that. It shouldn't be one place in this city or any city that's predominantly minority.
Right.
Where you don't feel comfortable. It should be where you at the point where you want your women to be protected going down the street.
Right.
Your kids to be able to play at a park without worrying about catching a stray. And that go into a whole bunch of different things. And I want to
Oh
take
yeah.
so
Yeah.
much, but I will tell you one thing, and I've said this so many times in regards to it, that
Mhm.
not only should those outside of the community that try to victimize us be punished, but those within our community should be even punished harder. When you are the
Absolutely.
same color as me and you
Absolutely.
victimize me, you should be punished even harder.
Yes.
To
I
destroy
agree.
your own community, destroy your own home, that's as bad as a father raping a daughter.
And it goes even deeper. Like, we can't even lift each other up with words.
Nope.
As
You want
crazy
to
as
know?
that
It's
sounds.
crazy, and it's because we have allowed, just like you said, of people not want to be appreciative, not being grateful for what you have.
Right.
We have allowed this culture, and we call it. We want to embrace it. Like, we got to embrace. You know what I'm saying? This for the culture. I'm always leery when somebody say, "Oh, this for the culture." What culture are
Yeah.
you talking about? Because if you're talking about this culture that has been established and accepted by us, but established by others, oh, you can
Yeah.
keep that.
9 times out of 10, Mr. Johnson, they don't even know what it means. It's just the
You don't
cool
even know what
thing
it
to
means.
say.
It's cliche. It's a
Yeah.
cliche,
Yes.
trendy saying
Absolutely.
for people to say that. Oh, this is
Yep.
for the culture. No, this ain't for the culture. You got some people. What I can respect, and I can respect this. I have uh, I have a friend, Asian friend.
Yeah.
Lee is is a really good friend. We went to Ferris State together, and I've met his family, and they all just incredible. But one of them said something that was so in particular to me, and I can't even consider it racist. I listened to what he said because it really wasn't racist. It is how he views people that might look like me. I came
Yeah.
into his home, and I still remember this. I was a little bit after I graduated from Ferris State, and Lee was like, "Hey, everybody," and Mrs. Yu said to me, "Randy, I just really think that I am so impressed with you. I can't just believe that you're not mixed."
Huh?
And I was like, I'm like, I'm like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I said, really respectfully, I said, clarify that for me. She said, because she's like, you're very strong in your words, you speak very strongly, you what you say is what you do, you're trustworthy. But so much of I see is that your people, what I'm saying, people, and I like you, he like, I'm not saying this. And she kept trying to reiterate because she knew no better but to be honest.
She
And I
didn't mean no
respect
harm.
honesty.
Yeah.
I respect honesty.
Right.
And she just said, what I see. So media has put us so much in a bad term,
Oh yeah.
and it makes it bad. And what happens is, see, people don't understand why some people get mad when they see their kids indulge or trying to emulate us through this hip hop culture or things of that nature. Not just hip hop, but everything else. Like they see their kids coming there sagging and everything else, because all of that is black appropriation. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's what their viewpoint of it is. They're like, stop being like that. You're not black. That's how they view black. And that starts because we allowed that to be an acceptable image of us. See, people, we don't want to take this part of this discussion. I'm all about accountability. Once upon a time, we allowed this to be said about us. People like when they tell our story, man, we just telling the story of our hood. But what you ain't understanding is that it's a damaging story because you're telling a story that has no changing narrative. You keep saying, yeah, killing, 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 stealing, robbing, you know, hold this, bitch that. You keep saying these things
Yes.
and it's not changing. Yet your lifestyle has changed because you have decided that it's more profitable for you
Right.
to allow negative images of people that look like you. You allow young men and young women to put you on pedestals
Yes.
While you have changed your life. While you have done all these things. And
Full.
you got the nerve, and then in the same breath say, let's stop killing each other. How about you stop talking about killing each other?
Exactly.
Because there's
Like
no
have some
other race.
substance.
Yeah. You ain't there's no other race on the face of the planet that do what we do. That take joy in self, you know what I'm saying, and self, disrespecting its own culture
Right.
and taking joy in that. There's no other white folks don't go around crack of this, crack of that. They don't do that.
Right.
You know, you got, like you said, what they would say about rednecks and things of that nature, that they little culture, but they don't say that. You don't have Asians calling each other or saying yellow fever and things of that nature. You don't hear it. They don't take pride. You wouldn't hear that.
Not
They
at
don't
all.
say that. You don't hear Jews. You don't hear, Arabics, Middle Easterners. They do not tolerate that. Matter of fact, in some of them countries, they'll kill you. They
Right.
do not play that game.
Absolutely.
We are the only ones who have allowed this, because you want to know why? Because of our lack of appreciation
Yes.
for the things that we do have. So
Yeah.
in losing your self-respect, you've gained money, but you gain no worth.
And you have no substance.
No substance, no anything. So now you start, but you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I mean this honesty in regards to this. I've seen a lot of young people, and I give much praise. I give credit where credit's due, that are coming out and speaking against the way that we've been doing this. He
Yes.
said, no, I'm not, this is wrong. We've been doing this for so long, and we've been doing it all this time frame. We've allowed women to come out here and they sell. We've allowed so much. We've allowed our women, especially black women. I believe a lot of men, we have failed for a long time, and we don't want to take the credit for this, because but we didn't protect our women the way we should have. Some of us, as a whole, we allowed it not to go past. We should have never allowed our women to be disrespected the way they were.
Yeah.
And now they wear it. Most of them are trying to wear it as badges of honor until our other young, beautiful sisters coming up.
Do you feel like, because I was thinking like the same thing as far as our youth, do you feel like we're up against so much, like we're probably like around the same age, like with the whole social media generation, do you feel like we're up against that with women and the youth? Like it's just so much to
it's a lot.
With.
It's huge. Yeah, I agree with you.
And then the agenda that they're pushing on TV, on every show, every other commercial, this whole LGBTQ community, basically is just someone that else that can have more rights than the black man.
Right. They're the new black.
You have
LGBTQ is the new black.
Absolutely.
And I've told people, when someone asks me about that, because I agree with you. Social media, first of all, we got to look at the things. Social media affect two major groups the most, especially in the black community. Number one is women.
Yes.
It is now taking the place of, it's actually acting as if it's the new self-esteem creator.
Okay.
And I can kind of explain that a little bit more. Now, women, if you think about it, look at social media. Type in, even in Instagram. You said send me a thing on Instagram. When I go to the search menu on Instagram, because I'm not even on Instagram like that, I go to search menu. You know what first come up is women.
Yeah.
You're dressed in all different way, wherever it is. You know, it's just women. It's a full blank. It's going whatever Instagram is nothing. I'm like, I ain't even typed nothing in the search. Why y'all just pull this up?
And not only that, just to expand on that a little bit, what a lot of people fall into, this younger generation, at least 90% of what you see on these Instagram and Facebook is a lie.
It's a lie. It's a completed other lie.
Yes.
But you can't tell them that.
No.
Because this is why, if it's not that important, why would they do things like, man, we're going to take away the amount of likes people can see?
Yes.
I'm like, because they know how big that is. Because that means somewhere out there is people out there, and it's got to that startling amount of number of self-esteem issues, suicides, depression, that they say, man, we gotta take that like, because these people they'll put something out there and they don't get no likes. My daughter, who's 15. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Uh, I said, man, you don't need social media, and I told her this not because of anything else. Like I'm like, I want to let you know because I'm not hiding nothing from you. I'm telling you because you live in real life. Don't get fascinated by fake life. That's the new reality TV.
Yes.
Now people can live lives through avatars and social media. They can
Yeah.
say, look, this is what I am. They can have this great social media presence and they're looking at all these people and all they do this. It's just it's a game. And I feel bad for women, like I said, because that image is so pressed on women.
Yes.
It's so pressed on women, these young women, older women. You got I mean, where some of these more seasoned women,
Hmm.
are just desiring the same amount of attention as these young women. That's disturbing. That's
Yes.
disturb. I would tell women out there that should disturb you. When
Yes.
grandma done got younger, so now you got mamas that's 20, you got grandmas that are 30 or even in their 20s, which is wow. That's just to think
That's
about
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
It's like wow.
Yeah.
And then at the
And
same
these are the
token,
people that's constantly bringing children. So
children.
that trend is going to keep going.
And like you said, now you got where moms want to be friends. They hanging out with their daughters.
Absolutely.
They're
Yep.
doing the things with their daughters and
Smoking and drinking, going to the club, all
everything.
that nonsense.
And then the worst part that I've started to see now is that now fathers are it's I'm like now where before it was fathers are missing. Like a lot of people say fathers are missing, and for whatever reason, the terminology. Now
A
you
lot
got
of them taking
fathers.
up home. Yeah.
Yep. Fathers now are trying to do the same thing with their with sons and everything else on their daughters. They want to be cool. Like they don't need other friends. They need parents. We have failed them in the terms of this, where you got your kids. Your kids should never feel like they're on the same level as you.
Exactly.
I don't care if you're 60 and they're 40. This not saying that you treat them like a child, but no, they treat you with the authority and the respect that a parent that has raised them and
There has to
instilled
be
in them. It's
there
got to
has to
be
be
there.
some
It's
level of
got to be a
fear.
respect. It's got to
Some
be,
level of
Will.
fear that brings that respect on.
It's
Yes.
got to be there. And
Yep.
the problem is, like you said, and then the kids see all this and they looking at social media, everything we live in the generation that we live in now. And I don't want no one to hear this think that we're trying to say that it's just young people. When I speak of the generation, I speak of everybody that lives in it.
Yes.
That the issue that we have now is that we are more in love with ourselves. We are more following. We are more lovers. We are more lovers of making opinions facts and facts opinions.
Yes.
And we're allowing individuals who are mentally sick and
Yeah.
spiritually corrupt.
And how long has that been going on where
That who?
if,
Well, how long would you say, Will? I would
oh
say
no,
what?
I'm just talking about the portion where people try to take their opinions and just because they raise their voice, they automatically think it's a fact. I'm
It's a
like,
fact.
man, if you don't sit down somewhere, still
I would
wrong.
say maybe I want to say that it kind of sparked his head in the 90s a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Football maybe in the 90s, and then people
Yeah.
started coming out like, because if I say it, then it's true. No, no, it ain't how it works.
Right. Exactly.
They're like, what are you kidding me? This is not how facts works. It means it's
Right.
proven, man. We know this what happens with it. And the mere fact that we've done that, and it's a cartoon, in The Incredibles.
Yeah.
It's a real powerful part in The Incredibles where the guy name is I believe the character on there, his name is Syndrome, but it's real deep, Will. And I know I do a lot of I do a lot of comparison to things.
Uh-huh.
And I tell people all the time, man, y'all got to look. Because in Romans, oh no, I don't want to misquote the scripture. It's in Romans 9, and it just says that the invisible things of this world are clearly seen, through examples that God, what I'm saying, as it is in the spiritual. So for everything that's in the physical, it's an example of it in the spiritual. So they correspond.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that when I saw this movie, and I see it all the time, and that's why I tell people, don't be so far warned. Movies introduce an element of real truth and the truth they want you to know.
Yes.
They want you to, they want you to accept this truth. And in the movie with The Incredibles, the character Syndrome, prior to it, I don't know if you've seen it yourself.
Yes. Yes. It's been a while, but yes.
Mr. Incredible had this boy that had this fan club. He was like, man, I'm your biggest fan. And he was like, go home, go home. I work alone. And he kept trying to tell him this and all this other stuff. But what happened is that he damaged that kid.
Yeah.
So bad. And it lets you know, in all the examples that we have, Will, it lets you know the dangers of the things that, wow. Oh God, can I say that? What we are experiencing now in life, and this big, huge, as we see this turn, we experience it when you let hurt people write prescriptions for healing.
Whew, that's deep.
This is what we have experienced now.
Yes.
You let hurt people write prescriptions to others for healing. And it's boggling me, because in there, he had got so hurt so bad. What he decided to do is he wanted to create all these weapons that would make you being a superhero obsolete.
Right.
And his aspect of that, he said, I realized that he's like, I was weak when you hurt me. And think about it, that's how most people, when you get hurt, that's how you feel. You feel weak. You feel exposed. And when he got it, and he said, see, now you respect me because I'm a threat to you. It's hurt, and that's how hurt people feel. Like, oh yeah, you wasn't thinking about that when you attempted to hurt me. Now you respect me because I'm a threat.
Right.
Because you hurt. Now you want to give me love. And they're like, man, he said, what I want to do now is I want to make weapons so everybody can be super. Because as everybody is super,
right,
then no one would be. That's a deep quote in that movie, and people know some people here, but that's a deep quote. It ain't just no cartoon. That was a deep quote, because that's how what people want to do. Some people are so hurt, they just want everybody to experience they hurt. So when they try to say that, man, some happy people, some people don't want people to be happy. They want them to be in the same misery, as they've been feeling for years and days and all this other stuff. So when we start to see, like you said, and they tie in everything what you just said, Will, the lack of appreciation comes because some people are so hurt deep down and embarrassed that, like you said, they see a person like myself or you and maybe doing good or trying to do good.
Yeah.
And instead of applauding it, offering the help, or offering to say, hey, how'd you go about doing that and things of that nature? How can I do that? I'm looking for the things I'm going to do. Instead of picking your brain, getting advice and trying to help, you know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. They have this hate so deep that they take the hate that they have, because all hate is, misunderstood admiration.
Yes.
That's all hate is. Because that means somebody actually is impressed by what you do, but because of the hurt and the pain in them, because it makes what you're doing and how you move and how strong you stay and you stick to your goal, because they may have a goal and they gave up and they see that you keep moving in it. All
Yes.
it does is serves as a painful physical mirror
And it's
that
so
they gotta look in.
and it's so easy for us to despise each other than try to learn from one another.
Easy. It's the easiest. That's the problem.
That's crazy.
That's the problem, Will. People like easy. They
Yes.
don't like work. People want success and don't like work. And I say, man, there's only one place in the world where success comes before work, and it's in the dictionary. That's it.
I like it.
You don't come nowhere else. You gotta put in work. So when you
Yeah.
see people, instead of you being upset and being hate, instead of Will, someone being upset at you for having a platform, as you do now,
Yes.
open to talking and to helping and encouraging and touching issues that we should be talking about, so we can get a better understanding, so we can have grown and intelligent and mature conversations to promote change and growth in each other.
Yes.
Instead of them getting jealous of that, they should be supporting it. And coming up
Absolutely.
with other platforms and even coming to the table like, yeah, we do need to discuss this. We do need to change this. There's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, we should be grateful for what we have because it's a starting point.
Yes.
It's a starting point. Nobody should despise humble beginnings, because
Right.
those beginnings is what creates that found. People, when you build a building, the boys Dubai, you know what I'm saying? The Burj Khalifa
Uh-huh.
in Dubai. Currently, right now, biggest building in the world, tallest building in the world.
Yeah.
I like, y'all want to know why it took so long to build that building? They're like, oh, because it's so tall. No, because the foundation had to be right.
Absolutely.
When the World Trade Centers came down, the foundation was so far down beneath the surface because it had to be strong enough to carry the weight
Up
of
top.
everything that was above it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Always in every building, the foundation is the most important part. And until people can start understanding about that, getting your foundation in order, putting in the work necessary, actually being open to dialogue, and stop with this misplaced admiration, especially against your own race, because you don't have a problem telling that to. And some people gonna get mad about they're gonna get mad at this. I hope you don't lose no listeners for this. They're gonna get mad,
No,
but and it's because we have no problem adapting to other races, saying, "Oh man, what a great job, man! You did oh man, I admire him so much." But when you have a problem with not having that same accreditation for people in your own race that do the same thing, it's just like when I hear black men or black women say ignorant things like, "There are no good black men, there are no good black women. That's why I went over to another race." First of all, you not only insult your race, you insult the person that you with, because you're trying to tell them, "Man, it ain't nothing against you. I really don't like you. You're a second place trophy because I couldn't find anything else." It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And when someone does that kind of or says something that ignorant, it makes me go back and say, why would you say something like that? I'll tell somebody from jump all the way, no, there's no such thing as saying that there's no good black men and black women. That's a lie. No other race was there even mention that out their mouths talking about their own people. Let's start with accountability. Maybe what you look for in a woman, maybe the traits that you're trying to say should make a good woman have nothing to do with her being a good woman. And maybe your bad choices in women is what you need to reevaluate. Because you're not going to go through 40 relationships and blame all of them on the other people. That's impossible. I would tell somebody straight off the bat. I have an amazing woman, and one of the things I say about her is that in order for me to have been with her, I had to do some self-evaluation. Will I had to do
Yeah.
some self-evaluation because I realized that all of them other relationships, it wasn't all them women fault.
Yep. And
I had
that's
to do some
the big
accountability to
thing.
me.
That's the big thing we have problems with as far as no accountability
No accountability.
and always try to justify the wrong that we do.
There you go. Like we want to put a bow on the reason why we did what we did. Like, let me
Yeah.
tell you, this is why. No, how about this? How about saying you were wrong?
Yeah.
I had to do that, ability, and I tell this to all men and women all alike. Stop blaming everybody else for how you feel about yourself.
You're in control of one person in this life.
No.
That's yourself.
You're in control of yourself.
No one can make you do anything.
No one. And guess what? We don't do, a lot of us don't do a good job of that with ourselves, myself included. That's why I said I had to get to myself. I had to do, all those things. I don't ever talk to someone about some things that I have not been through. I wouldn't dare. I'm not that arrogant. I
Right.
wouldn't dare do that.
Right.
I tell them what I'm talking about. I say I got a good woman's because I had to pay my dues when it come to that woman. I had to reestablish myself because the biggest thing that we can do in relationships, and I know it's a little bit off, but just a little key to other people. When it comes to relationships between men and women, let me tell you something, gentlemen and ladies. You can't come to the table with a bag. You can't say this is everything that you want this person to come with, but you're not willing to even come halfway with anything yourself.
Right.
You have got to, if you want different and better, you have to do things different and better.
Yes.
You can't do it. You can't go through every relationship and doing the same thing with the same result. Break up and then go back and try to do the same thing thinking there's a different result. It's the very definition of insanity. I had to go back. I had to do everything different. I had to tell my woman. I mean that even at age as I got older, because I had to realize a couple different things. I had to realize that one, that my relationship God would somewhat take a back seat when I get with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, hold on now. And that's what God's saying. Like, hold on, our relationship got to be number one. It's an order. It's an order of life. And I tell people this is easy. When you think about your order of life, I got God number one, or however people believe in. I don't really get into that stuff. I know absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's a God. That's who I believe in. It's worked in my life. He is, he has been an amazing to my life. It's the situations that I'm consistently brought out of. It's the consistent blessings that's upon me. It's the no's that I'm given at times that are blessings. It's the yeses that I've been given. It's the hard work that I have to put in, and realizing that even after that hard work, that is his touch, that is his blessings, that is his navigation, that is his it's his blueprint for me that gets me through it, that allows me to say, see, the issue is that some people don't want to believe in God because they think they want to have more control. Understand this, that the only thing you can control in life is how you react to things. And and I take great pleasure in that, because God gives me one thing. He's given all of us that, and that's free will.
Yes.
He gives free will. That means you can make your choice. But guess what? It's another part of that. It's just like when people say, I'm grown, I can do what I want. Absolutely, you can. But it's another part of that you got to take in accountability. You can absolutely do whatever you want, but you're not in control of the consequences that come with them. You can't pick and choose the consequences.
Every action has a reaction.
Yep. So in all of that, like I told God told me, like, man, you are, I see that you're the happiest that you are in your life. I'm like, well, first of all, I love life, but the reason why I'm happy is because I got Randy together.
Yes.
Because Randy was the biggest enemy of my life. I was the biggest self-destructive things in my life. Because you get there, you get with somebody. I told somebody, sometimes you get with you go in relationships with people, whether it's just with your woman, where is your mate, where it's friendships, where it's business relationships, it's everything. I had to reevaluate myself because I'm like, I'm the common denominator in all of them.
Yes.
I had to reevaluate myself. I had to go back and figure out myself. I had to go heal myself because, like I said again, you have hurts. And the problem, like I was saying in society right now, Will, like we said, hurt people writing prescriptions for healing.
Yes.
And it's all over the place. When you got people that are hurt and they never got healed from it, or better yet, they give the appearance of that they healed, but it's not. They're not. They ain't healed. And I tell people it's easy to find out when people are healed.
Right.
It's easy. It's easy to detect it. Like, how you know? It ain't because they're doing well. It's not because they have a whole bunch of money. It's not because they have the appearance of looking like they have everything together. It's because their integrity
Yes.
is intact.
Yep.
They're honest. They're forthcoming. They'll tell you, they'll say to themselves, like, man, it was a rough one today. I can't lie to you, but I got through it. See, they're healthy in how they do their interactions.
Right.
They'll have a bad day. They'll even be angry, but they don't take out misplaced anger on no one.
Right.
They deal with it. It's called maturity and growth. You can't have one without the other. You can't mature if you ain't growing, and you can't grow if you ain't mature. So those are the ways that you find out people that's healthy, because they're open and honest. Admit they do. What's that thing? What's that A word that's scary that nobody like that you said we don't take enough of? Oh, accountability.
Absolutely.
They take accountability before they start pointing fingers. They look at themselves first.
Yes.
See, this is the thing that healing people do that are healed. They're not seeking to go back and destroy other people.
And the thing is, like with healing, anytime something is a process, we tend to try to take shortcuts.
Say you should say that one more time, Will, because I don't know if they understood that.
Stop taking the shortcuts and heal properly. You know, things that's worth having is things that take steps to do.
Take steps, right? What? Healing and everything in life, what you just said, there ain't no shortcut.
Nope.
Sometimes you got to take the stairs.
Yep.
And it's worth it because you got to
get out. Yep. You're gonna get out, put in.
No, it's too late to be shouting, Will. So don't get me there with that, brother. So, but what you just said is worth me. You can't shortcut it. You got to heal. And I'm just speaking for myself in my own life, because a lot of people would tend to look and see where I'm at now and be like, man, I can't believe that you done this. And man, I'm beyond blessed, man, in everything I do. But I understand it to the point that I know it's nothing. That everywhere I am is because of God. God has constantly showed up everywhere in my life. When I've been when there's been falsehood spoken about me.
Yeah.
When it's been negative that has been said. When people deliberately try to do things to make it look like I'm like some type of, deviant or something, anything like that of that nature. I had to battle for a couple of years with something, with a situation that hung over my head. And the grateful thing that I always had is that everybody who heard about it and saw it, said, man, no, I know that's a lie.
Absolutely.
So the one thing is that let you know is that I had a good reputation. And that's because of God. I thank God for that all the time. And then when it finally came out, because I was thinking like, oh man, God, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I have to go walk through this. Because we say it all the time. I know I'm speaking to people out there. You say it all the time, like, God, I don't understand why I have to do this. I'm completely innocent. I don't know why that's going on. Man, God got some ways to get your attention.
Absolutely.
Because he needs to get our attention. He had to get my attention. And when he got it, it was to show me, to say, Randy, I got you. All you got to do is trust in me in everything that you do. And I'm going to tell you, it came down to the wire. I'm talking about a day before literally, bam, and God
Wow.
came through and set everything straight in a day, underneath an hour, right on point, like it was told and like it was said it was going to happen. Not the way I thought it was going to happen, but in the best way that was the best for me that I couldn't even imagine for it to happen.
Yes. And
And when
that's
I,
something
it's crazy.
that's something that God taught me. Like
Mhm.
he showed me that the best way you can live is not worrying what people think or what people say about you. They're going to do it regardless.
Regardless,
Just give them something to talk about and walk his walk.
walk it. You got to walk it out because
Absolutely.
you know when people talk about it, and people say this all the time, and I'm like, it's the truth though. We
Yes.
talked about Jesus. They're talking about him now, dead and gone. God,
Right.
it's I mean, when I laugh at everyone, you know, and not laugh to be sarcastic, but I laugh to the point of the accuracy
Mhm.
of the spiritual text of the Bible
Yes.
and a lot of other documents. And I'm telling people that they don't look. I'm gonna. If I could just do this, Will, before we say anything else, and I'm gonna say this,
Absolutely.
is that man is one person I always wish I had the pleasure to meet. I've heard him speak many times, and that's Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And he said something that was so powerful, and I still remember. And I think I'm gonna put it up on my podcast as well, and on my website, just so people to hear. But he said that
Not to cut you off, but can you tell people where they can find you at?
absolutely everybody. I think again, Will, I thank you so much. I am. If you can find me, I'm just gonna cut this off right here. But this is my page is Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. You can. We are on. We appreciate you. We've been a podcast that's been here going on 4 years. We're so grateful with thousands of views and followers, and we appreciate everyone so much, new and everybody for all their support. You can find us. We are on YouTube, just like Mr. Will, at Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson, our YouTube handle. Also, you can find us on Meta or Facebook at Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. And you can also find us on Twitter as well, Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson, or Unfiltered with Mr. J, as on our Twitter. So you can find us, and we're normally every Wednesday, 7:45, our podcast, and man, we talk about everything. Um, we're not the popular. We don't talk about the popular topics. We talk about the most needed topics to our community, to us as a whole. We challenge when people say they push the envelope. I love to say it unfiltered. We push the envelope of your thinking. We push the envelope of your faith, because we want real conversations. We got too much hate and no resolution. We need resolution. We need accountability, and that's what we do Unfiltered. It's an amazing show. Um, Will has blessed us with his presence on the show and many others, so numerous we can't name. But definitely feel free to please come over there and take a look at us over there. We appreciate you so much. We're one of the few live podcasts out there.
Absolutely.
You can come.
Great.
We talk
Great.
live, and y'all can come and comment. And we, hey, I mean, we got like hundreds of comments. We try to get to every single one of them. I'm dedicated to getting each and one of them. But man, please, I'm filtered with Mr. Johnson. Please, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I was sorry to cut you off. I just
No,
wanted to
fine.
make
Thank
sure
you. I
we got
appreciate
that
that plug. Thank you for that
Yes.
plug, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Yes. Do you remember your train of thought? I'm sorry, I didn't. I really didn't mean to cut you off. I just
Oh no. There was no problem. I think that what happened is that I said that with Muhammad Ali was
Yes.
one day we're gonna he said one day we're gonna get to this mountain where you're gonna have all these religious people that were climbing the mountain, Buddhist, Catholic, um, Muslim, uh, whatever you can imagine. And they
Yes.
gonna all get to the top of that mountain and realize that we were all really serving the same God.
Mm.
And I tell somebody that's one of the most beautiful explanations of belief system that I've ever heard in my life. And this is what I would tell people in regards to that is just that the spiritual accuracy that of all the texts that we have out here, except
Mhm.
those that are considerably um, been altered by man for the most part, and we know
Yeah.
those, and we know what those texts are.
Yes.
That all of them, literally 80% of what's in them, are virtually the same,
Wow.
from the Quran to the Bible,
Yeah.
to Taoism to Buddhism. What happens in everything is man.
Yes.
They get a hold of it, they manipulate it for control, for whatever sick reasons.
Right.
But the bottom line of what I would tell anybody, like you said, the comment of, just talking about with brothers who even want to go to church. Once upon a time, um, I hate when people, and it's so ignorant when they say this because I'm like, man, you don't. That's not even historically correct in you saying this. Saying that Christianity, first of all, that the Bible is the white man's religion. That's absolutely 100% wrong.
Wrong. Yes.
That's wrong. Okay. First of all, in slavery, the dominant religion at the time, what I'm saying, was Baptist.
Yeah.
So that's why you have that type of, what I'm saying, the Baptist, type preaching and things of that nature, because that's what was prominent. But understand this is that this was not developed in Europe. People got to understand this. This wasn't European religion. Romans had despised this. Like, y'all got to do your homework. They didn't want this. They're like, hold on, what y'all talking about?
Right.
This wasn't correct. This is in the continent of Africa to Middle Eastern. In
Yeah.
those same areas, this in the Moors and things like that. This is absolutely is not true. And I'm not telling y'all something speaking out the side of my head. I'm giving you factual information. All you have to do is go research it. The
Right.
reason why they had white Jesus is because most people, including blacks,
Uh-huh.
have a picture that they try to interpret to bring those closer to them as a sense of identifying. Like, okay, this is what it was, and that's what they did. They that's the pictures they wanted to draw. They're like, because it's like, oh, they said, well, he made in our image, so that's what they wanted to do. That's how they wanted to identify. Even in some places, but the problem is that you could tell in the text and the time frame of where it was that this is not Caucasian. This is not a Caucasian. Oh, well, like, what are you talking about? Even when the description came to Bible, it's
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm like, come on now, let's not do this. Now we could say things that they tried to use it in manipulative ways. Absolutely, they did in slavery. They
Oh,
get
definitely.
used in a manipulative way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they do it all the time. People do it now.
Now. Yeah. Definitely.
This is why God said, I mean, when he come back, he destroying the church. He not talking about him as the church. He talking about the church that we know as now.
Yes.
It's got to be destroyed because it's been corrupted. So many people have been corrupted. Not everyone. And again, we shouldn't have to say not everyone.
Exactly. It's never all of anything.
Yeah. So, but when we have those places, we have tons of individuals with integrity and that walk and do what it is. They teach the word and nothing else. They don't add stuff where it is. They're like, no, we should be better. And what I will tell most people and most men at one time, they was at this point where a lot of men just didn't identify with it because they didn't see anything they could identify with. And I would tell brothers like this, I would tell them my story in regards to what I came to identify. Because at one point I was like that. I said, man, I can't identify. There's nothing that makes me say I can identify with this.
Right.
It wasn't until I read uh, the night when Jesus went in the Garden of Gethsemane. And when I really knew that, wow,
Mhm.
I can identify with that.
Yes.
And it was because he got to the point. That was no holier than thou right there. Came down, form a man, and people don't understand. People are like, oh, he came down because he had to, we want to make it so that he was like, oh, he had came down because he had to pay the cost for our sin. I'm like, y'all thinking too far ahead, and I'm thinking right where it's supposed to be. He needed to see why it was so easy for the people he created, for his children that he created,
Right.
to sin and discount them. He need to see that. He need to see how. It's just like
Absolutely.
if you know your kid, like, how can my kid be so easily manipulated?
Yeah.
Will, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
I need
yeah.
to see why my kid could be so easily manipulated. And he had to come down here. And it's what he said that make it so powerful in so many different things, and not just that part. And I hope, Will, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to go way off on stuff, but
No, you're good. You're good.
what made it so powerful is that some people say, oh yeah, he came down here, he said, man, I've been tempted in every way. I'm like, hear this, y'all. He said I was tempted in every way.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't see him. And what he's trying to say is that I know that y'all gonna make mistakes. But I'm
Right.
telling you that it's possible for you to live this life right and it be tough. I'm not telling you that temptation is a sin. Like, I ain't telling you that. That would be so irrational. We couldn't explain it.
Right.
He like, that's why I came down to flesh. I had to feel that. He had to feel that. Like, man, dang, I could feel why they would want to do that. And
Yeah.
how some of them fall into it.
Right.
Because after he said he didn't sin not, people went a step further. Because it was time frames he did get angry.
Yeah.
More than just one a couple of times. The time frames he got angry.
Right.
But the biggest part for me, and like I said with me, was that when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he was done. Will, you ready? He was
Yeah.
done. He was
Yes.
done. It was like that when it's like that guy that know that he on death row.
Yeah.
He like, in a
Yeah.
couple of hours, I'm done.
Yes.
And he even said, I'm like, man, I'm like, and I tell people, not every time I bring it to some of my young guys, and they like, whoa, I didn't even know. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, every man can identify with that. Right. Like, man, I grieve beyond death, which means like, man, I don't know what I am. I have no thoughts, my emotions, everything is all over the place.
Right.
Like, and basically, he said it. I'm like, people listen when he said, man, God, this we talking to his dad one-on-one. Like, Dad, if it's any other way that we can do this without me having to go through this,
Right.
please, let's do it that way.
Right.
But it's the next part that should give people the hope, give people the reassurance. He said, nevertheless, even in all my feeling and how tore up I am right now,
Right.
if you say it, I'm gonna do it.
Let it be done. Amen.
And that's basically, and that, like you said, that's all, and that was it. And I told my, and when I tell my young guys that, they were like, "Whoo!" I'm like, you know how deep that? See, y'all talk about loyalty.
Right.
That was loyalty and trust, loyalty beyond what you could even imagine. See, when
Exactly.
y'all, I told somebody, that's like a guy when he go to jail, and he go to jail for other people they don't know. Y'all, this is the part that I tell about, because one guy gonna say, that's stupid, man. Why would he die for everybody's sins? You know what's stupid? A stupid is guy going to jail.
Yeah.
For someone else.
Right.
And what they did. And he doing time all this time frame. You don't think that's stupid? And it got him quiet.
I mean, what can you say?
What can you say to that? I'm like, so that's smart for you. But see, the difference is he did that out of obedience.
Yes.
And he was resurrected. See, the difference is that you go to jail, you doing them years.
Exactly.
You doing them years. The problem is that he didn't have to pay the price for long. He had to do this. He like, look, you did what you were told. Bam, this is what had to be done. And that's why I would just tell anybody that ever have that doubt. Because again, most people that don't like, you ever notice that most people say, man, I don't believe in that God stuff. It ain't that they don't really believe in God. They've been hurt by people
Mhm.
that were in that organization.
Yeah.
They were misled. They were, damaged. And again, when you have hurt people writing prescriptions for healing, that's what happens.
Absolutely. And you know
So
what? And I've learned to be careful who I talk it with because it's a very confrontational subject.
absolutely.
So I'll talk and like dip, how you just dip your toe in the water, test the temperature. But if it's too far left when I get back, I just turn down.
Right.
Turn down.
Turn down. In the best way, because you know what? The best example is how you live.
Absolutely.
It ain't getting another way. Because I've seen it all the time. People have seen how I live. And they'll be like, man, I can't believe you this. And then they follow like, wow, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you do this. I can't believe you did that. And all of something like, can I ask you something? And I have people, like, especially, men, they're like, man, so how you, like, man, man, I just can't do it, man. I seen this guy do this and do that. And the problem, like I said, that's the problem. I would tell people that if you see a problem,
Mhm.
shouldn't you be a part of the solution? Because if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the
You're
problem.
part of the problem. Ain't no on the fence. Right.
Like to me, you lukewarm. I'm like, God, that's scripture too. You lukewarm. I can't do nothing with you.
Exactly.
So, and they sit back. I'm like, yeah, if you see a problem in your community and you do nothing to stand up for it, you are part of the problem.
Yes.
So it should be like that in every aspect, just like what you said, Will. When it comes to being grateful for what you got, people talking about, man, it ain't a lot of people out here to do everything we supposed to do. I'm like, man, did you be it? You be the change you want to see, because that's who the change should start with anyway. Change start with you.
Yes.
Because you can't change nobody else. Change yourself.
Exactly.
So
And it doesn't even have to be a big change at once.
No.
Start doing little simple things.
Little simple things.
Somebody walk past you, say hello, like just the little simple stuff.
Break that tension. Break that. I say hi to every brother I see. I've been like
Absolutely.
that for years.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, how you doing, brother? Guess what? Do every brother say hi back? They might not speak. Sometimes, me being the type of man that I am and the voice that I got, I'm like, hold on. Sometimes I have to cool myself. I'm like, oh, yeah, you ain't see me directly look at you and say hello to you, brother. But then what happens, it lets me know this is still how much hurt our people got.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For someone to do that, that means you got some hurt. You ain't angry, man. You hurt. You hurt.
Yep.
Brothers
Exactly.
need to stop and do that. Like for me not to acknowledge another brother that look just like me, that's going through the same struggle as me. I don't care if we in the same tax bracket, anything, educational bracket. That don't matter to me.
That's minute. That means
this
nothing.
is my God. This is you, man. You are me. I am
Absolutely.
you. And until we do that, like you have to hold. We got to start. Man, we got to stop having the fugitives in our group. And this is what I mean by the fugitives, man. It's just like men and women. Like I tell women, because women do this a lot. They will, they know other women are wrong. They know it.
Yeah.
They don't know it. But because of the cloak of womanhood they like to put out sometimes, they'll hide them. And the same risk, get mad when people associate them with them. I'm like, then you know what you need to do? Stop hiding them fugitives. Let them out here. Hold them to the fire because they wouldn't hide you. Matter of fact, they'll throw you under the bus. And I told that with men and women. I tell them, like, no. Somebody asked me about, like, man, would you hold a brother that just came in there and was robbing and killing? No, I wouldn't. No, because you don't love your own people. Why would I hide you? Why dare would I hide you when you try to destroy, when you raping our women, molesting our boys, stealing from old people? You got old people. You on a street and the elders, the ones who came before you, man, that paid dues for you to
Yes.
have some of the things that you have not. And the way you do them, you think I'm gonna hide you in a group tomorrow? Man, we gotta hide the brothers. No, we need to get rid of the troublemakers,
Yes.
the ones who don't want to know better. Yes,
Yes.
you need to be out of here. Yeah,
Because
you need to be out of here.
if they're around you, you can only pull them up or they can pull you down.
Yep, that's the only thing. And 9 times out of 10, there it is. The sneaks, the fake, the snakes, get them out of there.
Oh yeah.
They should be out of your presence. You don't want that. Why would you want that type of person to to reproduce? I'm not saying that people can't change, because I absolutely 180 degrees believe that people can change when they want to. Their heart's in the right place and they start taking accountability and they change their behavior. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
But if
Yeah.
you don't ever change behavior, I don't care how much time you shed your skin, you're still a snake.
Yes.
So I just think that people need to, women and a group, black community, we got to start doing that. We have to stop hiding our fugitives. And I ain't talking about people that just been in jail. I'm talking about people
Right.
that purposely do wrong all the time.
Exactly.
That do all the disgusting stuff. Yep, we need to get rid of the individuals that would think that it's okay to profit off of us
Yes.
by humiliating us,
Right.
having us be the laughing stock. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, yeah, you need to be getting rid of. Yeah, people that would deliberately steal and pillage their own neighborhoods that people live in, that they got to work. It's other people working.
Exactly.
You steal from them. You steal from them. You steal from a neighbor next door that just
How you
works.
think that's gonna turn out?
I'm like, you steal. You just, and it's people, and they, it's the messed up part is that in them neighborhoods, it's always somebody that you know.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Somebody that know you or has something to do with you. And I tell people, that's what I said, stop hiding them fugitives. Let them loose. Let them loose. Turn them in. Because we have to, if we ever want to get back and get better in our community, which I really believe that it's going to happen one day. And I think it's going to happen one day soon. But it's got to be a mindset change behavior, and a greater appreciation and accountability. People going to have to start saying, man, this is what I did wrong. And this is what I'm doing wrong, and let me change.
Yes.
Until we do that, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same system of men blaming the women, women blaming the man, kids blaming the parents, parents blaming the kids, and everything else. And
no one taking accountability.
Nobody, no accountability. All we doing is passing the buck. Nobody ever holding it, and we stand in the same spot trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out why this person can't do this. This person has started a business, but y'all stealing from them.
Yes.
We should, within our own community, should be able to handle that problem.
Yes.
I ain't saying we should stone them to death or anything of that nature. I ain't talking about nothing that extreme.
Weed
but
them
we
out,
should be able to handle that problem.
Yeah, weed them out.
Yep. Like, there you go. No, he did it. Make them be so embarrassed. Let me tell you something. Which is no reason that Grosse Pointe, in the way it looks, shouldn't be on the other side, or Detroit is 10 times better.
Oh yeah,
there's no reason that your neighborhood doesn't look like that.
Yep.
You should not ever accept poverty. People, man, we have been never, not been rich in our whole lives, for our community as a whole. But you would never people think
rich.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? On financial aspect of things of that nature. But what happened is that many other people saw the things that we had, is that it was a togetherness that we had. That many people replicated because they saw how much of a together that we are. So it's happened. That's why I'm going to be like, when black people get it, we were together on a lot of things. When we were right, right there in the 50s, the 40s, and the 60s, we were together on some things.
Yes, and that's my goal. Like, I feel like, financially I'm decent, but spiritual wise, I'm rich, brother. And all I'm gonna do is share my wealth. I'm gonna share my wealth. Everybody that I come across, greet them with a smile, and it's just natural.
And that's the way it should be, and that's the way it should be, to a point, and that's how it should be in like you said, in the communities.
Yes,
people kept update properties. The problem is that when you have, and certain generations and certain cultures, when you start to lose your culture, start to lose your sense of that pride and the things that made you incredible, and you start valuing other things that it looks like it's a sense of pride, but it's not. It's a disgusting poison that's creating your immunity that you love it. This is what happens. It was a sense of pride before. Let me tell you something. So many people could have generational wealth right now
Hmm.
because it's grandparents and parents that spent years paying off homes.
Yes.
And then grandkids or kids get into them homes that are completely paid off.
Hmm.
They don't pay property
Okay.
tax.
Yep.
They don't get the upkeep that it needs to be done to keep it up. They fall behind, and a little thing called foreclosure happens.
Yep.
So you lose
Yep.
that aspect of generational wealth. You get in there, you
Yes.
take it for granted because you didn't have to work for it. And this is what has happened in a lot of black culture.
Yes.
Plus, we don't do this. And I see it all the time. I'm like, man, your grandma paid for that house. You done all you got to do it. And I mean, 40 years goes down in under a year when these grandkids get a hold of it.
Yes.
They don't take care of it. They don't even cut the grass. They don't keep nothing. They do all this stuff and they made it look like something up. And some people are like, oh man, they're like a trap house. No, they ain't no trap house. They just don't take care of it.
But I bet you they hit that club every
They
Saturday
just
night
do
to
all
go
this other
get it.
stuff, all these things. You telling me you got money for this, you got money for
Yep.
that. You pulling up, and I tell them like, look, like I said, I don't judge nobody's pockets. That's not what I'm doing.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that you have opportunities for generational wealth, but you piss it away because you didn't have to work for it.
Yes.
When you have to be the one to work for it. See, the problem now is we have such a selfish generation of young people. Again, I don't have to say all.
Right.
That are so obsessed with me, now, that the fast life that they love to live, they have come to love it. And with the understanding that, hey man, I ain't gonna be here forever.
Right.
They speaking curses on their life. They gone before they do it. You got people, I tell somebody, man, what's the honor? You think the honor is in dying at 20, 18, 30, 40? Man,
It's crazy. It's
you are
crazy.
supposed to live a good long life. God willing, you know what I'm saying? We talk about accidents happen, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But we're not talking about when you deliberately put yourself in harm's way on a consistent basis to live a lifestyle for a brief period of time.
Right.
And they just, like you said, they're not thinking about the future.
Yeah.
I know many guys that was selling, that was selling. I know many women that was doing all this other stuff, living these high lifestyles, soft fashion because they like the look of being, the appearance of looking like they're rich or they well off. Where that fascination has come from because we've been so, my goodness,
Brainwash.
hypnotized and brainwashed by television and media as a whole that this is what success look like. That we've
Yes.
never had true financial literacy education in regards to making money work for us. We are killing ourselves trying to work for money instead of letting money work for us. And what happens is that these people are using GoFundMe pages.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be this way.
Right.
Yeah, GoFundMe, I think it's a great idea, especially when it's for some unspeakable and care situations. I believe it. I love to see the power of people giving because you know why?
Yeah.
Most people that give anyway have been people who have been quote unquote not the 1% at a high. It's always been people when you talk middle class and stuff that give more.
Absolutely.
It's always been that way. They always give the most.
Absolutely.
You look up all those donations, and they come from people like that because they
Yeah.
pour upon them. So I would just tell guys like that, put yourself in a better position when you out here.
Right.
'Cause what happens is that nobody wants to be the first. Because somebody got to do it. Somebody's got to be the first. You talking about, I want generational wealth. Guess what? I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna break a lot of young people's hearts. You may not see it. And what I mean by that is that in laying the foundation,
Mhm.
for generational just overflow for your family. It may not come early. You're not going to be um, a Zuckerberg. He's an oddity. That
Right.
don't happen every day.
Absolutely not.
That don't happen every day, people. That don't happen every day. You're not going to be like some of these, oh man, he's a YouTube sensation overnight. I always want to do it. That don't happen every day. It don't even happen every hour, every second. It don't happen every year or every 10 years. These are people that
Right.
oddity, that did something and they paid the dues. You can't use everybody's blueprint. Everybody got their own blueprint because what you're supposed to do ain't the same thing that they're supposed to do or that they're doing.
Right.
Y'all looking to be in carbon copies, but the problem is they don't need no more carbon copies. We don't need carbon copies. You have
Absolutely.
been placed on this planet to do something incredible that no one else, I don't care how many people have been here or how many people are going to be here after you, that you can only do.
Right.
That's what makes people special.
Right.
That's what makes you incredible. That's what makes you irreplaceable because you have been placed here to do something amazing that no one else can do. And when
But you
you
have to
go do it,
believe in yourself.
you got to believe it. And if
Yes.
you don't get in your spot, and Will, they don't understand this. Will, it is some people that need you to do this podcast.
Yes.
It's people that
Yes.
need you to do this podcast because it's going to touch them. It's going to motivate them. It could be the words that you speaking or a guest that could be speaking on here. That is that one word they needed to hear. I tell people all the time, people like, man, I want to make, I want to be millions. Like people, you like, first of all, everybody becomes a millionaire before they leave this earth in the hard amount of money that you make throughout your lifetime, you become a millionaire. So
Yes.
I always laugh at that. I'm like, yeah, you're like, but the
But you
problem
can't
is,
let your money determine your
yeah,
success.
you can't do it. You can't do it. That is, like I said, money is always being a tool, and it's not a determiner of success. It's just, it's a product of the amount of work that you put in. That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you get, do it, you hit it big. It comes with a lot of work, and depends on it. It's what I could say. It's like combustible. It just
Yeah.
could depend. You could be up one moment, you can be down one moment.
You know what my success is?
Mhm.
And this is going to sound extremely corny, but when I walk into a room or work or wherever place I walk into and people face light up because they're genuinely happy to see me, like that speaks volumes to me. That just makes my day because it's reciprocated because I'm happy to see them as well. Just good people seeing each other and that bond that I love you without necessarily saying I love you. I feel like
Yeah, that's
we
crazy.
overlook the small things that are actually the big things, in my opinion.
Because, like you said, Will, people are infatuated with attention instead of intentions,
Yes.
and it's a huge difference. I told some young ladies that at Genesis House,
Hmm.
um, and I was speaking to them like it's a big difference. There's a big difference between getting attention and the intentions that someone have.
Yes.
You don't want attention. You want someone with good intentions.
Absolutely.
Because any I like, first of all, men, I speak for all men and anybody else, even the women. Women are beautiful.
Yes.
They're amazing. And we've all know that. That's what it means.
Absolutely.
Just like for men, just like for women, they see some men, they're like, man, these men are incredible. You can find anyone to look like and things of that nature. Looks, it's a dime a dozen. It really
Right.
is. It's just the truth. The
Yes.
problem is distinguishing what is the characteristics that would make them good for me and me be good for them in
Absolutely.
order to work and we increase each other. Now, we
Absolutely.
ain't talking about money because
Right.
sadly, it's some people that they're gonna be on this earth and the only thing they're ever gonna have is just money.
Right. And
You
be
want to make sure
miserable.
and be miserable because keep in mind, more rich people kill themselves than any other financial demographic.
Yes.
And if
That's
money made you happy,
that's
you
not an
want to tell
opinion.
me
That's a fact.
that's a fact. And people, I understand, like, what you see, they get on drugs, they rich. You want to know why? Because eventually, what else can you want?
Yeah.
People drive themselves crazy with that. You got all the money in what you okay. Well, let's say our deal is what you do. You know, the debt gone, you get yourself debt gone, you get, all this, you maybe a nice house, a nice car. We ain't talking about over extravagance. I ain't talking about having 40, 80 different cars. I don't need that. I can only
Right.
drive one at a time.
Absolutely.
But and the other thing, and maybe take care of some of your family, and you don't get to that gone. Then now you're like, what else is there to do? People drive themselves crazy. And
Yeah.
what happens is that those things in life that we consider little, we don't realize how important they are until they're gone.
Absolutely.
One of those things I realized in my life, woof, I'll tell you, was peace.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You realize peace is gone. And I remember a young lady said this one time to me, and I laughed so hard because she's gonna say, "Yeah, I got that P that's gonna keep you satisfied." And I laughed. I'm like, "Oh, you talking about peace?" I'm like, I got another P word is peace because you can talk about the one that you talking about. And all it does is bring, I've seen it, and it'll bring people heartache, pain, and everything else like that. They going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, peace is that one thing that when you lose it, you know it. And
Right.
you will never, and once you get it back, you'll never in your life do anything to lose it again. And anything that come into play to try to make you lose it, you don't want to have nothing to do with it. You're like, nope,
Right.
I'm good. Nope, I need my peace. I can't have that. So
Absolutely.
I agree with you on that. That peace to come, it's take a special person. I have been, oh my goodness. I remember when I was ordained about, oh, that's not 10. Oh my goodness, about
Your
15.
minister?
Yes.
Ah,
So,
I got to get your info.
yep, okay.
Yes.
For 15, yeah, about 15 years. And I remember one of the things that my bishop told me, and I always remember this. And he says that one, you preach and teach the word,
Yes.
not opinion,
Hmm.
but the word. And know that in studying, and what I realize is that I go and study, especially at the time, and go over like, okay, God, what I don't know if it happens to everybody, but I know me. And I get up there and I study, and I'm like, okay, this is where I want to, God, hopefully this is where you want me to go with this. And then I get up there and I'll get in front of people. And God totally takes over and take me in a whole different direction.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's when what make it so, I tell people make it so beautiful. It's because it's not that you did something wrong because you studied. You did what you were supposed to do.
Yes.
But you did what is the most important thing to do.
Hmm.
And it is allow yourself to be used as what you are, and that's the vessel.
It's
And
almost like an out of body experience,
yep,
isn't it?
it's the outer body. It's just like you realize, like, man, and you just sit and you go through and you're like, okay, I don't know where it's coming. Like, this not even my notes, and you catch yourself something like this not this is not what I was going to talk about, but it hits whatever it is because I believe that's what God. I told somebody like, you have people because you got people, and Will, you know this. You got people that can talk people out of anything. You have people that have a spirit of manipulation.
Absolutely.
They do. They have a very, a very net. They could talk. They use this, use the gift. And I tell people, it's gifts for everything underneath the sun. And how
Absolutely.
you use it is what's going to be the change of it.
Yeah.
And what happens is that people get up there and they do the most. I told somebody like, well, I remember one person like, man, they seeing they hooping and hollering. I'm like, well, this is my answer for any of that when someone tell me that. I know this. I know that I'm absolutely nothing without God.
Absolutely. Amen.
And I absolutely know that the responsibility of getting there and speaking to people, I know is two things. That if that word ain't cutting me, it ain't God. Because it's gotta cut me and it's gotta cut everybody else. I'm the first person that should be taking heed to what's being spoken.
Okay. Okay.
That if I'm not doing it, somebody up there and I'm going up there, I'm teaching these people. I'll tell people that has to be it. It's like, God, use me.
Yes.
Because that word has got to cut to me. It's got to be a two-edged sword. It's got to go both ways.
Yes.
It just can't go out to the people. And I'm sitting there like I'm like, no. Like I told most people I tell all this is not you being fellowshipping
Mhm.
with your people. It's not going to a museum worshiping statues.
Right.
And it's fellowshipping is us coming together to recharge, to praise, to
Hmm.
re-energize, to encourage, to strengthen, because praise and worship is not for us. Praise and worship has always been for him.
Absolutely.
The thing that people get twisted by because they go to, oh, I'm singing, oh, like, no, we praise, and as we are praising and worshiping him, the effects is, like you say, it rains on the just and the unjust. We just get the benefits of it. But it's
Right.
not for us. He gets, you know what I'm saying? That's for him. But with the rain that comes down, we just get the
Right.
benefits of it.
Amen.
So, and when you have to get to people, Will, and I'm pretty sure that it's not so, like you said, it's the outer body experience that it feels, but it's the feeling that man, God, I know that's you. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't have to. It's the reassurance to know that I'm not getting up here just telling people something because I like the way it sounds in my own voice. I
Yes.
know that it's God that you're speaking through me because, man, I ain't got this down here. I didn't know we was going this route. I didn't see that
Absolutely.
because we didn't. Not only just that, because you have to be completely sold out to it. You got to be sold out to it. It don't go by how you feel. You could be having
Right.
the worst day. I've had so many days where it's been the bad day and it's tough, and you still got to speak, and you still got to still give me something to speak into someone's life. Like you
Yeah.
seem like your life falling apart, but God get you to speak to somebody,
Yes.
and you
And
like,
that's what God done for me. He allowed me to eliminate that word bad from my vocabulary.
yep,
So things are challenging sometimes, yes, but nothing bad has ever happened to me.
right,
Everything
absolutely,
happened was supposed to happen, and he made me strong enough to deal with those things.
absolutely,
And that I am very grateful for.
because we have to be. Will it's um how we can say this. Um, I gave this example to a group of people. I said blessings, and it's funny. This circling right back to what we originally was talking about when you started, and it's I'd say I want y'all to picture this. I want you to picture what seems like a vault, just a huge vault that go on for miles, and
Mhm.
in that vault is all these safety deposit boxes. All those safety deposit boxes belong to each and every one of us. It's got our name on it. Whichever the box has got your name on it. The key is your faith.
Yes.
What happens is that some of us get sidetracked. And people want to know why. This is why God said, that's why I said, keep your eyes on me. It's so vivid when Peter's walking on the water, and I love it. It's just like, look, keep your eyes on me.
Right.
The storm, the boat shaking, water coming on everywhere, and now you telling me to come walk out there to you?
Yes.
In this, you telling me to walk out there to you in this, the waves and everything else. And he was fine as long as he kept his eyes
Right.
on him. And he said, this is not me being narcissistic. What I'm trying to show you is that when your eyes on me, your eyes is not on the problem.
Right.
Because you can't fix the problem.
Right.
I can fix that problem. Because while you're focused on me, I'm calming that.
Yes.
Because some of that storm is necessary for you.
Yes.
It's necessary for your growth. He said, so yeah, that's why I'm telling you to stay on me, because this is necessary for your growth. Yes, I want you to feel the waves coming by you and let you know that you'll never drown.
Right.
I want you to feel the wind blowing and knowing that you'll never get knocked over. I want you to feel the fear of this whipping rain coming by you and knowing that no matter how hard it's whipping and how hard it's hitting you, you won't get wet.
Amen.
Keep your eyes on me. He started sinking once he took his eyes off of it.
Yep.
So, in that note, when I'm going back to the safety deposit boxes, what happens is that we get one person, they open it the safety deposit box. What happens is that a group of people look at them and see what they're taking out. And they'll get so caught up on, oh man, I want that. I want that. Why they got this? Like you just said, not being appreciative of what you got. But you know why most people appreciate what they got? Because they haven't even taken their eyes off what this person got, knowing that in their hand they got a key to their own safety deposit box, but they don't have the know-it-all to go down there and open up their own.
Exactly.
Like, you got a box here. You do know that, right? You got a box down there.
Right.
You got a box that's meant for you, that's for you, that you can open it up. All you got to do is go by faith. You're looking at his. We don't know what that man has gone through for his.
Exactly.
What he had to go through his faith. We don't know what he had to go through for it. See, the problem is that most people, they want to have things. They want to have these things move. They want to see these goals and everything else, but they have that rich man mentality where he said, God, I want to be able to do and experience everything that you have. He said, and Jesus knew. He's like, well, okay, if you want that, you gotta sell everything you got. Take up your cross and follow me.
Right.
And the reason why he looked away and disappointed is because he knew he wasn't ready for that. He's like, I can't do that, because he didn't want to give up what he got. And my message in regards to all that, what I'm trying to say, we're not trying to preach, man. I ain't trying to preach.
Oh, no. I'm soaking all in.
What happened is that most people, I tell them, man, go over there and find your gift. Stop studying someone else's.
Right.
Because it's one there for you. It's the blueprint that's there for you that you need to be reading while you're trying to read theirs.
Right.
They gonna have to be about their assignment. I don't know what they had to go through. And in that blueprint, they still don't know everything they got to go through. It's just saying, hey, this is in you. Trust me. We'll get there.
Amen.
And it's going to take some time because you got to grow. You got to go to levels. It's just like the game of what's the best Mario, the very first Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They had 8 levels. In each level, it was level 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, then 1-4. When you get to 1-4, that's when you fight King Koopa.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you get you fight them, you beat them. All of a sudden, you see Toadstool tell you, Mario, I'm sorry, but the princess is in another castle.
Yes.
And you're like, oh man, then what happened after you get that one? You have to go next level. You got to go to 2.
Yep.
You go 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, same thing. Beat them all, man. Just get a little harder. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mario, but the princess is in another castle.
Right.
Man, guys telling us, man, your level.
Yes.
It's still the next one. Yep, you conquered this. You were supposed to conquer. You had everything else. But now it's time for that next level.
Yes.
There's never going to be a time frame where we'll be comfortable. We'll be grateful. We'll be content, but we won't be comfortable.
Right.
Because God's like, man, I don't need you to be comfortable because I need you to be ready.
Yep.
I need you to be ready. So that's when some of us is on, man, thank God that some of us can be on level 5. And he know because we paid the dues for 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Yes.
But level 5 is preparing us for the next level. God don't skip levels because he's a God of he's order. He wouldn't do that to us. He's like, man, I'm not doing that to you. I'm not gonna set you up for failure.
Right.
I'm gonna let you don't have to do it. You have to go through this. You don't get people like I got double promoted. You don't get double promoted.
Right.
This a process. And once you get through that process, because it's vital things you need to go through to get to it. So yeah, go open your safety deposit box. Go see your blueprint. Let yourself be reassured, because that's why I pray to God every night, Lord, reassure me that I'm whatever you have me to do, that I'm doing the right thing. And he reassures me every day.
Yes.
Faithfully reassures me. And once he gets you on your course and what you got to do, because everybody got this incredible gift that nobody else can do, but nobody else. Like you said, Will, people got this gift, man. When you come in a room, an instant peace come over everybody. Man, that's a gift.
Yes.
People got a gift. You got some people talking about, oh, they got to sing. I know people that can't sing, but they have such an anointing on their life. They'll get up there and sing a song. Kind of all the tune, kind of none of this.
Yeah.
But it have the anointing come and flow in that place. It unleashes the anointing of God to come through this place.
Yes.
And swell the room. Because the spirit was right. The attitude was right. The yieldingness was there.
Yep. And everything came together.
And he said, Will, everything came together. And this is where we all have to get to. We got to get to. And guess what? We got to go through our level 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and all these things. And some people like they get tired because they be like, man, they think they arrived. Man, I arrived. I'm like, man, no. You're just increasing. Man, God, man, like you're increasing.
Yes.
Arrive. You're never going to fully arrive at everything. You're
Right.
going to increase. You're going to continue to increase. You're going to continue to increase. And God, as long as you trust him, and I know it's some tough, like you said, it's tough, not bad. It's tough, but it's tough because you got to be tough.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared. You got to be ready for whatever you got to be in your life. You got to be sold out to it. You got to be. You got to be sold out to it.
And locked in.
Got to do it.
Locked in mentally, you can do anything.
Anything possible you can do.
Yes.
And it happens all the time. Once your resolve is there, once your commitment is there, and you're like, nope, I'm locked into this. It's some people. That's why I told somebody the most dangerous person in the world is a man you can't buy.
Absolutely.
That's why, not trying to be all on the dark side. That's why most time when they get guys like that in the community, they want to get rid of them. Most people like, get rid of him. You can't buy this guy. He's not doing it.
Right.
He ain't taking no money. He ain't taking no bribes. He ain't taking no women. He sold out to that. He is a strong believer of that. And they admire that. But they know, like, man, that man is dangerous. Because that kind of person can affect people.
Yes. And you're the respected one. The other ones aren't respected.
Absolutely. Like I said, but that's the biggest part in everything and all things is that we are, I just tell people that we just have to get to a place where we understand that this process is awesome. You got to get to a place where you got to love the process.
Yes.
You ain't got to like it, but you got to love it.
Yes.
Like, man, whoo, this is tough, but I love it because I know I'm gonna be at the end of this. I'm trusting what I'm gonna be at the end of this. I'm
Oh, yeah.
trusting this process because in this growth, sometimes you have to be. And it is my last thing, bro. What I learned, my biggest thing that I've ever learned in my life to this day so far, is undoubtedly just trusting God
Absolutely.
and understanding that I cannot be in the driver's seat. I gotta be in the back seat. And if
Yes.
somebody asks me what, I'm like, what? Don't you mean like in the passenger seat? No, I can't be the passenger seat. I need to be in the back seat.
Yes.
Kids don't ride in the front seat, and
Right.
people don't want to get this far. Kids don't ride in the front seat.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is that when you allow God to have control to pilot your life, to drive in your life,
Yes.
what are you doing? Is that if I sit in the passenger seat, I'm going to do one of these numbers eventually. Oh no, you should go this way. No, like no.
Right.
I get in the back seat, and someone asks what I'm doing in the back seat. Absolutely nothing. I'm trusting.
Absolutely.
What your kids do in the back seat when you driving?
Nothing.
They do absolutely nothing. You
Yeah.
tell them you're going somewhere, they trust that's where you're taking them.
They only ask one thing.
Yep.
Are we there yet?
Yep. That's it. Are we there yet?
Yep.
And what they doing? They look at the sights.
Absolutely.
That's where the meaning comes when I say this to people that enjoy the journey. Because
Right.
that's what it's really about. Like you say, Will, you go to work and you see those people and everybody that you touch and everything of that nature. You meet some incredible people along the way. You meet some people that it's hard to, but you know what? I thank God for them too.
I love them.
Yep.
Because them the ones I can bring with me.
Yep. Like
the others are already with me.
Yep. Like, come on, you got a heart. Like, man, I don't know. Like, come on, no, man. Like, man, they're like, man, why are you still doing this? See, the worst thing, the thing that used to piss off Elmer Fudd more than anything else, when Bugs Bunny kissed him. He pissed. Oh man, I can't believe this. Because it's hard for someone who's been hurt to understand why someone would love them.
That's facts. That's facts.
It's hard for them to understand it, but that's what you keep doing. All right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I hear you. Like, I see what you're doing, but you're not going to stop me from being the person that I am.
Oh yeah, I'll wear you down.
Yep, I'll wear you down. And guess what? You may never. The goal ain't for you to like me, because I got people that don't like me that respect me.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't like him, but man, he a man of his word.
Yep.
You got enemies that can't even say a bad word about you. Like,
right.
Like, man, I don't like him, for whatever reason. Like I said, misunderstood admiration.
Yes.
But can't speak a bad word about you.
Right.
And like I said, I would just tell everybody, myself, man, get in the back seat. Let them have control. You ain't even got to look at detour signs. You ain't got to worry about the rumble strips in the road. Enjoy the sights, appreciate it, grow. While you in this process, while he got this control, grow, trust him, believe in him, and I'm telling you, he's not gonna fail you. Stuff get tough, not bad. I love what you said about that. It ain't bad. It get tough. It gets better, but it's growth. It's growth, and everything that you do is growth and maturity. And the thing about it is that it takes time. If you've been a certain way for a while, it took you time to get that way. It's gonna take time for you to get out of there. It's called a reprogram.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
That's all I would say, man. It's just a reprogram, man. Absolutely. But trust them. Trust them, everybody. Trust it.
Absolutely.
I'm a prime example. I'm a prime example and a proud of every single testimony I got. I should not be here, and I know people hear that a lot, but I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here at all. It's time frames that my ticket looked like it was punched. And I mean close quarters punch. I am not talking about car accident. I'm talking about gun, guns to head. I remember it just my daughter. I remember, and I share this testimony with a lot of people that back in 2014 at a Citgo gas station that I still stay close to.
Mm-hmm.
As I was pumping gas with my daughter at the time, who was just in her booster seat in the back seat of my Cadillac.
Yeah.
As I was pumping gas with another older gentleman right across from me, a young man came up behind me and put a gun to my head and attempted to rob me.
Wow.
At that time frame, I'll tell you, a lot of stuff kind of went black. All I remember is just thinking to myself that if something happened to me, it's going to run the risk that my daughter will probably never be seen from again.
Yeah. Wow.
That time frame, I was able to get this guy a good judo flip over my shoulder. When we both hit the ground, his gun came out, hit the ground.
Wow.
I saw it, I grabbed it, and I shot him twice.
Mm.
Time frame, I went and asked my daughter because I just remember seeing everything and it replays every day in my head because it took a while for me to get over that
Yes.
because I work with young men. Because I work with young men. I'm still determined with everything with young men. I work with them daily, and it dealt with me because I remember my daughter being there. I seen the situation, and it was everything that felt wrong because at that time frame I was asked to go down to court so they could say if it was justifiable after looking at the tape. And I still remember the officer. I'm not gonna say his name for, of course, legal reasons.
Yes.
And I remember he said to me, "It looked like you had the situation under control. Do you think that was necessary?" And I couldn't believe what I heard because I was still in a date. I'm holding my daughter, and you say this as I'm holding my daughter, as I could have been a victim out here. I could have been the one on this concrete, and my daughter, or the older gentleman that was over there, and you speak to me like this,
Wow.
and glory to God that everything was worked out, and nothing came about it in regards to any type of charges. But um, what I tell young men and people this all the time is that life is precious, man.
Absolutely.
Every
Absolutely.
moment is precious.
Yes.
Treat it as such
Yes.
because this ain't these things are not jokes, and nothing is to be ever be taken lightly.
Right. Amen.
There's a couple things I've learned in my life is that never say what you're never gonna do because you never know what you'll do if your situation improve yourself. These are things that you hope that you are strong and that you are standing just solid in that it don't have that you wouldn't do, and you just pray that God give you the strength to stand strong in every situation. And the next thing would be that when it comes to people, I know it's a cliche saying when people say
Mm-hmm.
treat people the way you want to be treated. I
Yeah.
would go to far as say this.
Treat people better.
There you go. There you go, brother.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it. Treat people better than you could ever imagine to be treated.
That
Go
goes
above and beyond.
like if
Yep.
you feel someone don't like you or not feeling, hey, kill them with kindness.
Kill them with
And
kindness. I say kill them with kindness and bury them with love. You got to do.
absolutely.
You got. And it's because it's going to enrich your spirit. It's going to
Absolutely.
enrich you. It's going to take you to places. It's going to show you stepping out of your own comfort zone and stepping into a place of real peace, of real joy beyond you can ever imagine. Because there's no better blessing, none, when you make a change in someone's life that's so incredible and so impactful.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's nothing that's more nothing I've yet to see this day. I've seen my beautiful daughter being born. I've graduated. I've been ordained. I've been married, been divorced.
Yeah.
and a lot of different things. But it's
Absolutely.
yet to have the feeling that you feel when you change someone's life just because of actions that you did or the things you did to care. It's a powerful thing, man. It's powerful. It's
Yeah.
powerful, y'all. Go out
Yeah.
there and go out there and be a blessing. I'm telling you. It's the
Yeah.
best thing because let me tell you this. Like I said, I know I said the last thing, but this is really my last thing I got to say. Real. Um,
I do want to do some predictions with you for tomorrow
okay,
football game.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
I will say this on that, and like I said, I appreciate you tonight. That's
Yeah.
so awesome, because like I said, I've been on a incredible high to how
Yeah.
amazing my God has been. That he never cut, he never ever is never late. He's always on time, and there's no one more clutch than God.
Absolutely.
No one. So I would just tell, I would just say, in this term of this and this great conversation, and I appreciate you even have me on here for this conversation.
Oh, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Appreciate it, Will. I can't wait till the next time. And
Absolutely.
uh, that when you get in this bad boy, I told I told my beautiful girlfriend this. And I said it with tears in my eyes because I love talking to her because she makes it's an amazing deep conversation, man. It's something about an intelligent woman. That is you can't beat it. You can't beat it. An incredible woman, especially when she your best friend.
Amen.
And she said, I told her that when I leave this place, when it's time for me to go home and God willing to get my well done, that I don't want to leave nothing. And she said, "What you mean?" I was like, I want to leave this place empty. I want to be able to leave this place knowing that every single gift, every cent, every amount of love, every advice, everything that God had poured into me, and it gave me the ability to say, "This is what I got in you to give. I want you to do it." I want
Mhm.
to leave that bad boy here.
I
I
love
want
it.
to leave here empty with nothing left.
I love it. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to leave outside. I said, I don't want to leave here with nothing. And she's like, why are you crying? I was like, because it's a joy for me. Because I don't want to leave here with nothing. It's too
Right.
many. If you go to cemeteries, there's too many gifts left in the cemetery
Yes.
that'll never be realized. I told her, I don't want to ever want to be that way. I told her she laughed at me and she's being funny, but she's like, when she laughed, she just said, she like, don't say that, because she started crying because she got emotional too with me. And
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, what I'm saying is that I told her, like, I don't even want a tombstone. I don't want nothing. I want to be that is gone because people, one thing I know in life, people forget the amount of money you gave them, the thing you bought them last time. They forget anniversary, they forget dates, they forget all this other different things and all this other stuff you can buy, gifts and all the other things.
Hmm.
No one will ever forget how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
No one does. That's my true last thing before you get to the picks. That nobody, and I mean this with all my heart. If y'all hear nothing else from us tonight, hear this from me. Nobody will ever forget how you made them feel. Nobody ever forget that person that made them feel hope. Nobody
Yeah.
forget people that made them feel the worst fear in their life either. So let
Right.
that be known to you. Go treat people right. And remember, nobody ever forgets how you made them feel. So go out there and do some amazing things, man. Leave this bad boy. You ain't got to be like me, but I'm telling you, God willing, and I pray this all the time. Say, God, let me leave this bad boy empty in peace. I'm like, that's all I want. Let me leave empty in peace and with an impact that'll last well past the bones, the dust from my bones in this bad boy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
I appreciate
Everybody, please make sure you follow Unfiltered. I'll be there Wednesday. Please join me. Actually, matter of fact, next Wednesday I'm off. I'd like to join you if possible, Mr.
There we
Johnson.
go. There we go. So you already know we gonna have it going. So this Wednesday here we gonna be on fire. This Wednesday we gonna be talking about the qualities. Just to let you know the qualities of good and bad men, and with good women and bad men, wherever just the best qualities. And why do
Okay.
we consider like are we really putting the best qualities into finding the right individuals? That's,
Okay. If I get drug into work, I definitely will be in the comment section.
there we
But
go.
I'm trying to come live with you.
Absolutely. Come live and come talk, and we'll listen to the talking box.
And just so you know, any Saturday you want to come up, actually I can do 4 times a night, but Saturday seems to work best.
Mhm.
Any Saturday you want to come up and do this, I'm open for it.
Absolutely, brother.
I love it. I love it.
Don't tell me that with my talkative self.
Oh man, hey, I love it. I didn't soak in everything you said, man. I love it. I love it. I had to come get the heavy hitter.
There we go. Absolutely. Appreciate it, brother.
Okay, we gonna say the best game for last.
Okay.
We got the Cowboys against the Giants at Giants at home.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'll tell you this much. I like the most impressive thing that I like about the Giants this year. People are gonna say Saquon and is actually a defense. Their defense has been
Yeah.
awesome so far this year. I think that we might be experiencing a little shift in the change in that division. I think the two that been at the bottom for a long time is starting to be the two that's gonna be at the top. Because normally I think actually I'm gonna tell you, I think this division, well, let me take that back. I think that we gonna have I'll save that for when we get to that game.
We can
I
get
say the
real gritty and
Giants.
put scores on the games if you want.
Okay, I say if I have to put it, I say Giants win, and I think they win 24-14. Giants 24-14 over the Cowboys.
I say Zeke is going to have a good game finally, and I say Cowboys 27-20.
Okay, so we're about to get the same flavor, just a different winner. Okay, all right. I want Zeke. You know what I'm saying? I want Zeke to head off because man, he just been on a downcline. I hope he comes busts out, do something,
man. San Fran goes to Denver.
I'm gonna tell you. First of all, San Francisco will be the luckiest team in the NFL. I tell you, man, they almost lost. Yes. Had a total loss for this season. The best thing they did was restructure that contract with the one guy who keeps getting them to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
Garoppolo. People keep forgetting this. They keep talking about, get rid of Garoppolo. He's got him to the Super Bowl, and he's got him to the NFC Championship.
Yes,
twice. Twice. And this is all in the last 3 years. Okay, let's
Green Bay twice.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just stop it. So, and I think Russell Wilson still. I love Dangerous, but I honestly think Denver may have paid a little bit too much for him. I think Russ gonna be good, but I think Russ is at that crest of his career. I still ain't seen them all look solid there yet. I'm going San Francisco. I think it's gonna be a relatively low scoring game. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it let's say 17-10 San Francisco.
Okay, somewhere along the same lines. I was thinking 23-17.
Yeah, it's gonna be low scoring. I just don't see it yet. They got two monster runners in Denver, and these guys, I don't understand. I feel like they're doing the same mistake they did with Russ in Seattle. They trying to make him win everything. No, let that running game do it. And he's always, his best years is when he works off the run. So I don't understand it, but I agree. San Francisco defense too tough, and I think Garoppolo can do enough. So
here's a good one. Green Bay going to Tampa.
I am a Tom Brady fan through and through. Always been, always have. Always been that one guy at the party that always be like, "Oh, they play Tom Brady." I'm like, "Yep, Tom Brady, Michigan man. I love it." I think he's one of the most ultimate competitors ever. Probably one of the biggest competitors in every sport put together. He'd be on the Mount Rushmore of if you put all of them together.
Oh,
But I'm gonna say this: they playing where in Tampa for this
yeah,
game?
Dan Tampa.
Woo!
And I'll go first on the next one too, so that way it's a one-off. Like,
Will, man, Tampa been squeezing by with that good defense they got, and you know
yeah,
what? That's not unfamiliar to Brady. My thing is, can they? I think they can do enough to stop Green Bay's pass. I don't think they're gonna be intercepting Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be able to do what he would normally want to do.
yeah,
So I'm gonna take Tampa Bay, low scoring game because they ain't gonna have
I
everybody.
agree.
I'll say I'll make it. I'll make it even a nice and fair. I'll say 17-13.
Okay, and Tampa's defense is their problem,
Mhm.
but Green Bay's defense has also improved.
Yeah, they do.
And the fact that Mike Evans is suspended for this game, I'm going to go with the Packers, and I'm going to say 20-14.
Woo, okay.
20-14 Green Bay. And the dog walk game of the week, we have the Rams going to the Cardinals. I'm not a Kyler Murray believer, especially without D-Hop.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Mr. Just Enough probably actually end up blowing this game wide open. And by Mr. Just Enough, it meaning just enough to win or just enough to lose.
Right.
I'm talking about Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. We all know.
I'm gonna say 31-13.
Yeah, I think
Rams.
Yeah, I think that you being yeah, I think I would go. I would say that much. I think that he started to get on a little bit of roll because he didn't have these couple of games. I know he hurting and everything of that nature, but I think their defense is going to show up for him again. The Rams is just going to do enough. And like I said, the Cardinals, I just don't see it. Connor hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, they defense don't even look. You know, they defense is hurting, especially on the D line.
And they lost Chandler Jones.
Yeah, I'm just like, I never understood. I don't even understand why they didn't re-sign him. But I mean, he ain't doing that much better down in Vegas. But I would say, you know, and it's early, but I'll give it to the Rams. I'll go for I would say 28-7.
Okay. And we have the Falcons going to Seattle.
Wow, that's a snore game. Right? That's a snore game, right? You know,
you might not see it on Red Zone at all.
Yeah. I would say, you know, man, you know what I'm gonna take in this. See, I think that it's really weird because Atlanta actually has not played bad.
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't played bad. The play calling has been kind of suspect. I'm like, man, both of these two teams are teams that said we're gonna rely on career backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, pretty much.
To get on this point. And it's gonna be what do you I think to me is like, do you think who you think won't make the mistakes?
Yes.
And if I had to go with that, just because they haven't really had bad game, I'm gonna take Seattle in this one. Funny enough, I'm gonna take Seattle. I'm gonna say they're gonna do enough not to. I think there's gonna be another like weird low scoring game for the most part. I'm gonna say me like let's make it close. Let's say 21-17.
Okay, I agree. I agree with that score because that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But I think two things is going to happen in this game. I think Kyle Pitts is finally going to have a decent game this week.
Like Pitts.
I'd say maybe 5 for 72 yards.
Okay.
And I think Tyler Lockett is going to have a buck and a touch.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Ooh, this is going to be a good one because I'm not even sure if Herbert is playing. The Jaguars.
I don't think he is.
SoFi. Oh.
So I think it just says I don't think he is playing.
shoot, we got Chase Daniels. Oh boy.
Yep. So they got Chase in there. Now it's gonna be this. See, now I'm gonna say this because it's gonna be controversial, but it is what it is. They want to. They are crowning Herbert so fast for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all crowning the guy that ain't even got to the playoffs yet. So let's just slow down. But yet we got a guy like Lamar Jackson who's taking his team to the playoffs every year since he's been there, except for the 1 year he got hurt last year, and he got to struggle with a contract.
And them backups relentless.
Yeah.
And them backup quarterbacks in Baltimore relentless.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, what y'all talking about? Y'all think I can replace him? I think you got several dozen teams that would want Lamar Jackson right now.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say to that one.
Definitely.
But in regards to that question, I'm gonna say this. Sunshine, it looked like he's trying to come into his own, and they do look like a different team down there. They look like their culture is a culture change.
The Jags.
Yep. And Doug Peterson is a part of that.
Yeah.
So, and they playing where this game at?
They're at SoFi.
Yeah, SoFi.
Chargers at home. Yeah.
I think. See that defense. Is a monster over there with
Yeah, with Bosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be. I think this one's going to be a low-scoring game too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to say 17-10. Let me get 17-14. Do I really think they can put up? Do I think he's gonna be good enough to put that many points up? But I like Robinson too. 14-10. 14-10 on Rams. I'll say 14-10 Rams.
Oh, you mean?
No, Rams. I'm sorry, the Chargers. Just because of their defense. That's the only reason.
I was 1 point off your opinion. Mine was 13-10 Chargers.
Yeah. I think the Chargers gonna get them. I think just because it's gonna be the defense. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Only reason.
Derwin James is a monster.
Woof.
And then you got Khalil Mack. Yeah.
Khalil Mack, Bosa. Yes. Their defense is a monster.
Van Noy.
Yep. And they looking good. If they can stay healthy like they normally do, maybe they can get to their playoff ways. We'll see. But I agree.
And I think Keenan back tomorrow too.
I like Keenan, but man, this guy's Mr. Glass. He stay injured.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, he stays injured. It's like, man, you could be really considered a top tier, top 5 receiver.
Oh, definitely.
You just don't stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
You just don't stay healthy.
We got the Raiders going to the Titans. I'm going to take the Raiders, and I think this is the week that Derek Carr tries to show that he's elite, even though he's not.
Right.
And I'm going to say he's going to put up like 34-21.
I agree with that. I like that score. I was going to say 35-21. So I think the Raiders are going to beat them. Tennessee, I have no idea what's going on. I'll tell you one thing that's going on. They feel like idiots for getting rid of A.J. Brown.
Oh, yeah.
That should have never happened. Henry is tiptoeing. The offensive line look a little hurt too.
Well, later in the year, that's when Henry really picks up.
Yeah, he starts putting it on. He's that that big time second half of the year back anyway. I think right now he kind of that injury. I think that injury is probably a little bit more affecting him a little bit more than we think we'd affected him. So I'm gonna think they I don't know. And I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think Malik Willis is ready. I think he kind of run happy right now. And he getting some of them hits, the NFL hits. But Tannehill is on a short leash.
It scares me with Malik because every time I see Malik, I see Andre Ware. I just think wrong.
That's a good one. That's an excellent comparison.
Yep. I think
University of Houston. Oh my
yep.
goodness. I mean, oh my God. It's just like you said, when I see him in the game, I saw him take a hit. I'm like, brother, you are not gonna last if you can't read the, I
No.
think Tannehill is still their best choice. I think they just need to, you know, I think they just messed up letting AJ Brown get away.
Yeah. And you bring in Robert Woods, really?
Who coming off a major injury, like, man, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I just think they just did not. They did a couple things. They let Corey Davis get away
Yes.
a couple of years ago. They
Yep.
just done everything the opposite. You letting your good receiving core go away. Julio Jones is gone, and don't get me wrong, Julio's just. I know he kind of a shadow of himself, which sucks because I
Talk
really
about injury. Yeah.
yeah. So, but
Maybe they
yeah,
should
I
bring
agree with you.
Odell in once he get healthy.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
agree with you. I think the
speaking of
Rams.
Corey Davis, the Bengals going to the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets.
Really?
I'm taking the Jets
That O
because
line, huh?
that offensive line. I
Yeah.
don't understand how y'all worse.
Yeah.
They supposed to fix this.
Wow.
They more horrible. I'm like, wow. They gonna say he hold the ball too long. I'm like, I don't know about that one. I
Yeah.
seen where he looked like the guys is back there in about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And so I mean, y'all say that now, but the guy, it wasn't that way when he led y'all to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think they didn't do enough in the offseason for that offensive line. So I'm gonna take the Jets.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Jets in the upset because even their defense ain't that impressive to me.
Yeah.
So I think that we might see them go. What this will be 0-4, 0-3.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we might
Wow.
see that. I think we might see that. Will so I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets in a nice little upset. I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna be the high scoring. It's gonna be another low scoring, high, tough game. So man, I'll say something in the neighborhood like 14-10. 17-10. Matter of fact, 17-10. I don't think he's going to be able to get one touchdown. Lamar Chase has been a no-show.
Yeah, Jamar been. Because he don't have the time to get the ball down
Yeah.
the field.
So they want to do something else. They're going to have to figure out this O-line. I don't know what they're going to do. And another piece that people tend to forget about that they lost.
Yeah.
They lost their tight end.
Who, no, they got Hayden Hurst still. Oh, you talk about Oxuma or what was his
Yeah.
name? Yeah, yeah.
I think he on the Jets.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, they lost some guys they should have been able to keep, man. I mean, so I don't know what was up with that. But I don't understand it. But
I got them winning 30 to 21 because I think Flacco, he's always been serviceable, but a little bit better than serviceable.
Yeah.
So I say 30 to 21 Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah. My prediction for the Super Bowl champs this year, we got Buffalo going to Miami. That might be
this is the best game that people think it's gonna be, but it ain't.
No, you don't think
Buffalo is about to maul Miami.
Because Tua ain't it?
Tua had the benefits of a Baltimore secondary who looked like deers in the headlights. I don't know what happened in that game. Tua, man,
is Tre'Davious playing tomorrow?
That I had to check their line on that because I know they got some hurt. I know they do got some hurt in the secondary.
Yeah,
but secondary gonna look good when you got an O line like the Buffalo Bills got.
Yeah, that's true.
They all over the place. Buffalo Bills look complete in every area.
Yeah.
Miami showing up ain't stopping them.
No.
Buffalo's gonna be able to stop them. I think that we gonna find out that Miami, even I don't care with Hill. I think you're gonna find out that Miami is still in they might be approaching second tier, but they definitely ain't in first tier. I got Buffalo taking that game big time. I'm gonna say 28-10.
28-10. Okay. I was thinking 35-13.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I think Miami gonna get shown off. I think Buffalo. You ain't lying. I got Buffalo. You know what? No, I don't. But go ahead. I'll tell you who I got. Go ahead.
I got Greg Davis. The welcome back Greg Davis game tomorrow. He getting 2 touches. Wait for your Super Bowl. Who you taking?
Man,
You think
until I can
KC
see
ready
somebody,
again?
until somebody can see somebody beat them, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I gotta see somebody beat them.
Yeah. My concern, my biggest concern on the Chiefs, Pat gonna be Pat.
Yep.
My concern is Juju has never been the number one to me.
He never will be.
Right. And Kelsey, can he hold up? Because he's been a little bit banged up the
He
last
been
couple of
banged
seasons.
up these last couple of years because he been the. Even though they want to say Tyreek Hill, they really run through Kelsey.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
for
they like
sure.
Tyreek Hill, but Kelsey is the key there.
For sure.
They gotta have 2 of these guys step up.
Yes.
And I believe that he gonna get those to step up. It's just that I'm gonna tell you what's so wonderful. Like you said, Pat gonna be Pat. But I think people really is like losing track. Like you do know this guy's been in the AFC Championship the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
He's the man. Like this guy does his thing. You know, so I mean, he had the best playoff game I've seen, and I want to say in the last couple of years against Buffalo.
Man, that whole weekend was like,
It was incredible.
man.
Every game was
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
And I tell you, like, it's hard not to like Buffalo because I'm a Buffalo fan. When
Yeah,
they
me
chose
too.
Josh Allen from Wyoming, I seen tape on him. You know, I'm one of them, like, I'm one of them buffs that when they talk about people, you know, I see him,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I told people, I compared Josh Allen. I said, Josh Allen is the Ben Roethlisberger that's more athletic.
Yeah.
And I'm telling people, I say, man, this guy is for real. When he finally gets a hold and realize who he is and get the right people around him,
Yep.
watch what he do. And look what he's doing now.
I was so mad his rookie year at McDermott, I think, was there.
Yep.
I'm like, why you keep sending this young kid out here throwing this ball 50 times? But, like, I guess he seen something we didn't.
Yep. I'm telling you, they got that. I'm telling you, it's about them 2 teams in the AFC right now. They got it's the AFC is theirs. One of those 2 guys. You are looking at this is the new Tom Brady Peyton Manning rivalry.
I like it.
I'm telling you, they trying
so
to. So
that means Brady always win in the playoffs, then, right?
Yep, you already know how it goes. So if I had to say which one was which, woo, man, that's hard. I can't even compare them to the 2. I compare the rivalry because they're entirely 2 different than other one. You know, Peyton Manning is way more cerebral. I say Peyton Manning is probably the smartest quarterback I've ever seen in my lifetime.
In the regular season.
Yeah, in the regular season. The regular season. But Tom Brady, hands down, I think other people would say it too, is the best quarterback we've ever seen.
Tom Brady, I say 2 things about Tom Brady. Nobody does less with more. Does more with less, rather. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And he makes everybody around him accountable.
Everybody around him accountable, and like you said, better. Yep. So it's really he don't like losing. I love people like that.
Yeah.
Like this man don't want to lose. Like, man, you think I'll just come to play? We ain't come to lose. Last year, he is 1 bad defensive call away from pulling off another upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
He brought him all the way back.
Yeah.
And because they did, I don't know, to this day, I still try to figure out that defensive coverage. Where was y'all safeties?
Yes.
What were y'all doing? I'm like, all y'all had to do is keep them away.
Yeah.
Y'all just did it. And then all of a sudden, now y'all decide to run a run and bring the safety down and let Cooper Kupp be one-on-one.
Cooper Kupp? Yeah.
What? I'm like, come on, bro. But I'm sorry, man. What's the next?
Hey, I understand, brother. We got the Eagles going to the Commanders.
Eagles are my favorite in the NFC.
Okay.
I think they are the most dangerous team in the NFC right now. Hands down.
Target.
When I seen them in person at the Lions game, I'm just like, these guys are fast.
Yeah.
I don't understand how nobody
Yes.
can stop them. They look like a college team on offense,
Yeah.
and their defense is defense is good too. They are tough. I think we might be looking. I hate to crown the Eagles because I know my brother love them, and I hate even admitting that they're that good. But these boys, Jalen Hurts look good.
Yeah.
They look good. This team looks good. Right now, this is what I'll just say. And I'm a Tom Brady fan, but I say nobody wants to see the Eagles right now.
Not right now. They too hot.
They're too hot. So
Yeah.
don't be surprised if they could get to double digits, and I mean like 13-game win.
Yeah.
Woo! I wouldn't want to see them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see them.
Yeah.
So I'll say, of course, I think the Eagles beat Commanders. I think this is gonna be nasty. I really do. I don't see the Commanders. What's the name ain't in there either. Chase ain't in there.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be. Woof. I'll say the score, but I wasn't surprised they put 40 up on them. I'll even go. I'll help them out. I'll say 41. I'll say 41-13.
Okay. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Next, we got the Chiefs going to the Colts. That game, I'm going to say, I think they get doubled up. 34-17, KC.
Yep, I sound about right for me. I don't know what's going on with the Colts. To be honest with you, Colts supposed to have this monster defense. I'm not seeing it so far this year.
No.
Ryan, it lets me know why Atlanta said, "Yep, you can have them." Because I mean, is Quentin Nelson hurt?
I think so.
See, y'all just paid, and don't get me wrong, he is the best guard in NFL. But man, but then Jonathan Taylor, y'all not doing nothing. Also,
nothing.
I just don't understand it. It ain't going if they gonna win this season, it ain't gonna be against KC. So I got your same score. I got that probably just -7 points from the Colts because I don't think the Colts gonna. I think the Colts gonna give us.
So you think it's
30, I'll give them 9. I'll give them 9. I think all they're gonna get is field goal. I just see field goals in the future.
Here's an underrated game or underrated team, but this might be a snoozer game though. The Texans going to Chicago.
You know what? I think that's going to be a good game for Chicago.
Really?
To help get their morale back up. Because they started the season good, and of course they went against they went against Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
And got Aaron Rodgers all hype. I think they bounce back in this one. I think they're gonna get to Texas. I'm gonna say because they playing in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do good there. I'll say that. I'll say let's say 13-6.
Ooh, snoozer.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be defense.
I'll say 24-10, Houston.
Oh, you got Houston winning that bad boy. Because who they got? Who's the QB down in Houston?
A no name, but I like the kid though. Davis Mills.
Okay, Mills. Okay.
And then they got Brandon Cooks over there with that rookie Pierce, the running
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll win. I think they'll win tomorrow.
Yeah, that should be a good one. That's a sneaky one, like you said. It's a sneaky one.
Yeah.
I might watch that back and forth. I'm gonna see what it is. I'm gonna see how my ticket, how I'm gonna watch NFL ticket.
Yeah. That's all. I usually just put it on Red Zone, but not tomorrow. I have to watch the last game that we talked about. But Saints and the Panthers.
Do I want to say that this gonna be the game that Baker finally get a win? Man, do I feel comfortable saying that? I just think the Saints, I think the Saints gonna come off pissed. I wouldn't want to. I think it's gonna be a bad game for Baker. I think
Yeah,
the Saints about to come after him. I'm gonna say 24-10.
24-10.
Yeah.
Saint,
Yep. I think the Saints. Yeah, I'll pick the Saints.
I'll say, yeah, I give them 21-10 Saints.
Yeah.
So roughly same area.
Yep.
Oh, wow, I got to start this one off, huh? The Ravens going to the Patriots.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I think Belichick kind of losing his touch a little bit. You know where he can take the best man
Yep.
away? Not going to happen tomorrow.
No. Ain't gonna happen tomorrow.
31-21. Baltimore.
Oh shoot! I thought you being generous. I think but you know what? No, you're not, because we got to see what this Ravens defense want to do.
That secondary is Swiss cheese.
Yep. Now the question is the Patriots defense that they spend all that money for gonna show up?
Yeah.
I'm still taking the I'm taking I like Ravens, so I'm gonna take the Ravens. I got it with a score. I'm gonna say I think they're gonna try to make it tight. I think they're gonna try to say try to save Mac Jones for the most part. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
21-20.
Ooh,
I think it's
I
gonna
like
be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think it's gonna be tight because I think that they
Yeah,
want something to prove. So
I like it.
Mhm.
And you get to start this one off. Let me just say this, full disclaimer. I said it before the first game, the Lions will win a division.
Okay.
A lot of people laugh at me. So with that, without further ado, I'll let you start this one off.
Lions and the Vikings.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good game. But I'm gonna tell you the one that got me the most is that the Lions played the Eagles so much better than the Vikings played the Eagles.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah.
what was up with that.
Yeah.
I think one of my the people that I'm really scared of on the Vikings, Harrison Smith, he's out.
He out. Yeah.
So
He the one ruined Calvin.
yep. So I'm gonna tell people this. This is how I feel. And I told people I said I didn't think the Lions gonna win the division. I didn't go far as a division. I'm a hometown Lions fan, as you can see, everything, I'm like old school, but I'm gonna take the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
But characteristic as they defense have been playing, like they play good the first half, but then they kind of go to sleep in the second. And I wish they sew that up. Once they could sew that up, they'll be all right. I don't know if we're going to get another high scoring Lions game like we've been getting, but I think it's going to be good. I'm going to be honest and general with them. I'm going to say 24-17 Lions over the Vikings.
Okay.
Because they still got Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, JJ a problem.
Yeah, JJ's a major problem.
I say 31-27 Detroit.
Yeah, I like that.
The reason I say they'll win the division is Chicago is going to be in the basement. They are going with an Ohio State quarterback.
Absolutely.
They don't have a whole lot of weapons. Minnesota, they have Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins is a lower grade version of Matthew Stafford at his worst.
Right.
He's always going to make that big mistake when it's not needed. And they're going to be better than Green Bay because you don't lose arguably the best receiver in the game and get better. And we almost took 2 games from you last year.
Right.
And our schedule is soft on top of that. So that's why I say
it's a favorable schedule for them. You know,
yes.
Lions can do some things, so we'll see.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You know when it's on the internet, it's forever. So we're gonna look back next week. I'm like,
right, let's see what happens. But I think they look good. I love the offense. That's the big thing. I love the offensive lines. They're moving. But see, the people don't realize is that it's the offensive line. What we've been saying for years is Lions need to get the offensive line together. They've done some outstanding drafting for the first time. They've got these offensive hot mollies up front that's creating these holes. Swift is looking like what everybody hoped he would
Yes.
be because he's a monster. And when you got Jamal Williams behind him and you got Reynolds running good,
Yeah.
man, it makes life a lot more easier. Not to
This
mention
is
Amon Ra,
woo.
who's looking good. Chalk is actually playing good. The only concern I have on offense is Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's gonna come around, I think.
Yeah, because he's missing. He's had several deep passes where our guys been wide open, and he's over. I'm like, oh man, you gotta drop that in there. Now that's when I miss Stafford.
Yeah.
That's when I miss Stafford. That little drop that he got, that arm he got. But I think Goff is like, I don't want to make the big mistake, which I can respect. Don't make the big mistake. Don't do them stupid interceptions that we hate.
Yeah.
But like you said, everything else, the defensive line all plays. I love the way Aiden is all there. Even Okudah is looking good.
Yeah. Oh, he shut Devontae Smith down the first week.
Yep. So we gonna see because he got Justin Jefferson this week. He got him.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what he could do.
Oh,
I think he's another guy who gets hurt.
Yeah. And he was running his mouth this week too. Yeah, I'm like, just be quiet, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you like Okudah, like I hear you, but you ain't even played a full season in the NFL yet.
Yeah,
and y'all team is we're the Detroit Lions. We love you so much, Detroit, but we ain't have nothing to brag about in years.
Absolutely.
Let's go out and do the game. Play it. Just play it. Let your game do the talking now.
And I like how Hutch came back last week. He's gotten better in this short time because the first week I was so not mad, but I'm like, come on, bro, you overrunning everything. You over pursuing. Like the linebacker we had was Ernie Sims.
Yep.
How he used to overrun every play. I'm like, just relax.
Yep. And this one, like you said, he got 3 solid sacks in there. And once he could just understand, there we go, get the favorite. He got to get his bend on. He don't try to really bend a lot. He tried to, like you say, overrun it. Like, man, get in there and do it. Now, this week, you got to sit and duck and Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Go hunt.
Yes.
So I'm impressed with that.
The main thing I'm impressed with Detroit, they're doing something they haven't been able to do in about 12, 13 years. They're actually allowing their run to set up the pass.
There you
go. So that makes it a little easier for Goff.
Yeah, like there you go, run it. If they I tell somebody like, man, if they getting 5 yards a run, don't stop running. Keep doing it.
Yep.
Do it till they stop it. We don't care about y'all putting up stats. We want wins. That's
definitely. I appreciate you, my bro. I know you got to get up in the morning.
No, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, man. So definitely, first of all, I'm looking forward to either listening or joining you Wednesday and Saturday. If you come back, if you are willing to come back, I'll have you as much as you want to come.
Man, I
enjoyed the conversation, and I really appreciate you, brother.
Man, I appreciate you, Will. Thank you so much. Again, if I could just drop it off of there, Unfiltered, like you said, Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. On YouTube, same thing as Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. At Meta Facebook, Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. That's our page we on Facebook. And we are also on Twitter, Unfiltered with Mr. J. Like I said, live podcast. Thank y'all so much. Like, subscribe, and share for us, man. Appreciate you so much. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it, brother.
Not a problem. Peace, King. Have a good one.
All right. You too, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.